Good evening, everyone. Glenn Kellaway coming from the basement with my brand new webcam and microphone. I would love some feedback as if I look any prettier and if I sound better. So if anybody can do that for me, I'd appreciate it. Give me a second here because I do have to do some homework here for a second. I just got to go and adjust my channel. Bop, bop, bop. Hope everyone's having a great day. Okay, hold on one second. I gotta flip that on. Done. I gotta save that. Saved. And we're good to go. 2 people watching. Hey, cardboard head guy. You know how much I love you. Topic today, it's scrolled along the bottom, general music chat, and in between the chat, we're going to show some favorite album covers. Hey, Doc, how's it going, buddy? I'm watching the Jays in the background here, down 2-1. Vladdy just got a hit on first base, 4th inning. We'll see. So, yeah, I hope everybody's having a great day, having a good week. Lots of exciting stuff going on. I want to promote. I don't know if Larry Graves is going to join us tonight, but I do want to promote our CD exchange. We were doing one on Rich Strickler's channel, but that's kind of on hiatus. And Larry and I kind of started the ball rolling on this CD exchange thing about a year or so ago, and then we kind of dropped it. Maybe it was a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. I'm not sure now. We used to get together every week, exchange 5 CDs, go home for a week and listen to them, come back and review them and rank them. And man, have I discovered some great music through Larry, and I know that he's feels the same way. We love doing it. We resurrected again. We just did our first one last week. These are the 5 CDs that Larry gave me to review. Paul Weller, Wake Up the Nation. I'll try and keep the glare off the CD covers. Kraftwerk, Autobahn. If there's any Kraftwerk fans out there, maybe they can give me some pointers on Kraftwerk. That's a tough listen. Wire. Missing Chairs. Now, I understand Missing Chairs is kind of it's like when I was reading about the title of the album, it's kind of if you think someone's kind of a bit dim-witted, you say they're one fry short of a Happy Meal. In Britain, they say he's one chair short in his living room, or one chair missing in his living room, or something. So, Richard Thompson, Amnesia, and finally Colosseum, Valentine's Suite. So they're the 5 I have to review. I gave Larry a band called The Comet Is Coming, Charles Mingus. So I gave him a couple of real tough, jazzy kind of ones. And Dawes, who I'm a big fan of, their newest album, Misadventures of Doom Scroller, I think it's called. And I can't remember the other 2. Anyway, we're getting together Friday, reviewing them. And Larry will be posting that video probably sometime Friday or Saturday. Yeah, so that's a lot of fun. I really enjoyed doing that. All the bands Larry's turned me on to, well, not really turned me on to, it maybe resurrected my interest. David Bowie, for one, when he lent me the Low album, which I'd never heard before, blew my mind, opened up a whole new Bowie world for me, because I was really wrapped up in 70s Bowie. And I had Ziggy Stardust and the Up to Station and Diamond Dogs. That's kind of where I left. Although I did enjoy the hit albums Let's Dance and Young Americans, but any of the Berlin trilogy or anything that followed, I knew nothing about, and have now become like a major Bowie freak thanks to Larry. XTC, he lent me the Black Sea. I'd only knew a couple of songs from XTC, really, and I think I had Drums and Wires on CD, which I never listened to. I think I bought it used just on speculation one day and never really got into it. And boy, Black Sea blew my mind. My friend Rob is here. I can shut up. Oh, I get tired of talking.
How you doing?
Good, buddy. How are you?
I'm doing well.
I feel like I haven't seen you for months.
Feels like it, doesn't it?
I know. Welcome back.
Thank you.
You're missed.
Well, I don't know about that.
You were, yeah, I'm telling you, you were missed.
All right.
Making it official.
All right. Well, you guys did a good job last week. So
don't like doing it without you, buddy.
Duty called, unfortunately.
Yeah. What can you do?
Yeah.
Did you get a raise or anything?
I did, actually.
Oh, wow. Yeah, Rob's boss was in town, and he had to entertain his boss for the evening.
Good Lord. We took a customer out for dinner, and dinner started at 6, and we left the restaurant at 11:30.
Oh, I like those, though. They're fun.
I hate them. I do not like entertaining for work. I hate it.
Oh, I used to love that.
I'm one of these, although I'm in sales, I'm one of these people, and it's the end of the day. It's my time.
Oh, no. Going to Blue Jays games and Leaf games and out for dinner and carrying on. Oh.
No, I am not into that stuff. And, of course, it was my boss who's fairly wealthy and a customer that was even wealthier. So it was 5 hours of them talking about $400 bottles of wine, which I couldn't get.
Oh, I love that. That's great. Yeah.
Oh, I hated it. Every second of it.
Oh, wow. No. Yep. I can spend someone's I can spend on a big expense account.
Oh, I hated it.
We used to have we had season tickets for the Leafs, and we had tickets for the hot stove lounge and all that stuff. So we would take customers in there and go have dinner, and then you go to your seat, and then you come back and have your dessert. And oh, frick, man, that's living.
Not my cup of tea.
Really? Oh no,
I've done it for like 15 years. I just get so sick of it.
Yeah, we used to go every year. We had we were in the construction business. We were in a Mechanical Contractors Association, and we were members, and I represented our company at these meetings. We'd go have monthly meetings and talk with the industry and whatever. And it was an opportunity for suppliers to, get closer with the contractors and whatever. Right. But every year they had like a meeting away, a weekend annual getaway.
Right.
And it would be like at Lake Rosso at the resort up there or something, like real high-end resorts. Oh, we used to just carry on for 4 days. Oh my God.
We have fairly regular trips to Europe, and so far I've managed to get out of every one of them.
Why would you want to do that?
Because it's not fun, because you're not there. It's not a vacation. It's work. You don't get to see anything or do anything.
Well, usually you plan things with the customers and you see everything. You go on. You're not going to sit in a room in Europe. You're going to go for dinners, and you're going to go on the tours and all that stuff.
Not my cup of tea.
Oh man, can I get a job at your company and just
sure? I just hired 2 people yesterday. Actually,
I'll be your professional schmoozer.
There you go.
Oh yeah, I'm good at that.
Perfect. You can pretend you're me when there's schmoozing that needs.
Yeah. If they don't know what you look like, I'll just
Yeah, exactly.
We got the same haircut.
Sure.
Yeah. Who's here? Doc's here. My friend Doc. Derek, hello. Dan's always cool. Always good with the little funny lines. Are you live?
I hope so.
I think so. Let me do the mirror test. Yeah, I can see a bit of a...
I saw you had young Jack on last week.
Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah, it was good. It was nice to have him on. Get a perspective of a young guy.
Yep.
Bob, how you doing? Rob, hope the boss ain't watching this. He might...
He would not be watching, and he wouldn't give a shit anyway.
Hi, guys. Hi, Marcia. So are you getting the smoke?
Oh, yeah.
It's crazy, eh?
Yep.
Man.
Yeah.
I can't believe it. You look outside. Well, I didn't know what it was. I think it was yesterday morning, and I looked outside, and it was kind of a bright day, but it wasn't a bright day.
Right. Same here.
I'm looking at the whole scene just looked weird. It looked like everything was kind of like lit in a room or something. Like nothing looked real.
Well, it was weird because
what the hell is going on out there?
I was working from home yesterday, so I was here. This is also my office. And I walked my son to school, and everything, was fine. And I came downstairs, and I was working for 2 or 3 hours, and I went upstairs for something. And as I was coming up the stairs, because my wife had the patio door open, I'm like, someone's having a campfire. My wife's like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, "Don't you smell campfire?" She goes, "Yeah, come to think of it." We went outside and it was just everything was hazy. And
Yeah, it's weird. It's a weirdly lit. It's funny.
I was in Toronto today and it was really bad.
Well,
It was
it's
really bad.
supposed to be toxic too, eh?
Yeah, that's what they're
Like, you're not
saying.
supposed to be out there breathing it. So I would close if you got your screen doors open, you
Oh
might
no,
want.
they've been closed ever since. So
Yeah. Yeah, ours too.
it's pretty bad.
It is really weird. Yeah, we had them open we usually open our windows at night in the bedroom when we're sleeping, and that's all closed up now. So
Yep, same here.
wow, yeah, it's pretty crazy. So anybody who's living in the New York area or any of the upper east, northeast, I
They,
guess, is suffering.
they canceled a bunch of ball games tonight. Like they canceled the Yankees game and I think the Pirates game. They've got their roof closed downtown, so the Jays
Yeah,
are still
yeah,
playing.
I'm watching that now.
I was watching it 10 minutes ago. What's this? Still nothing, nothing?
It's no, it's 2-1 Houston in the fourth.
Damn it.
Yeah, and hey guys, go Blue Jays. Yes, Caleb. On board. Want another guy? No, we're good tonight because we got some stuff going on. Sorry about that, Don. Smoky in Surrey, BC today, too early. In BC.
Yeah, they got some fires going on out there too.
Wildfire smoke is awful here in New York. Oh, yeah. It's really bad in New York. Boy, you see New York City, like they're telling people
Yeah.
not to go outside. Yeah, you're lucky in San Diego. Los Angeles guy. Joe Perry Project or Blues Project? Who you got? Oh, anything. Well, I'm not an Aerosmith fan, so I'm going
I
Blues
am.
Project. I think Rob's probably going to Joe Perry, and I'm going Blues. So we got it covered.
There you go.
Yeah. So, what have you been up to musically? Anything exciting?
I picked up the new Noel Gallagher record today. I haven't listened to it
Wow.
yet. Um, and I acquired one of my holy grails, but I'm not going to say what
Uh-oh.
it is because I'm going to do a video on it the next few
Can you
days.
give us a hint, like what the band was or anything? Or
No, it's a '90s album that I have been looking for a while.
okay,
I have mentioned it before, but yeah, so I got that for a pretty good deal. And what else? I made a video on Sunday, another video with Rob or with Mike from MGK Boston,
okay.
kind of a follow up to the visit when he was here. So we
Yeah,
did
that was
one
cool
over.
to watch that.
Yeah, we did a long distance one. So
Oh yeah.
yeah, just talking about the concert we went to and talking about the band
Oh yeah, I'd
Whitehorse.
like to hear about that.
Yeah, so I just gotta finish
You
editing
guys
it.
went to see? Was it Whitehorse?
Yep,
Yeah, yeah. How,
that
how
was
was it? Without giving,
awesome,
yeah.
really good. I mean, I've seen them a few
Had Mike
times.
seen them before
No, he hadn't.
and was impressed?
They loved it. His
Really?
wife loved it. His daughter loved it. It was great.
Wow. They get any merch or anything?
They
Like any
did. They bought a couple T-shirts, a couple records.
awesome.
Yeah,
That's what it's all
we
about.
stuck around after the show and met the band, and
Oh, very cool.
I'd met them before 5 or
Yeah.
6 times, but I got a cool souvenir from the show. The set list.
Oh, nice.
Went up to one of the sound guys afterwards. Is, can I have that set list? And he's like, "Yep." You got to take the gaffer tape too. I'm like, "No problem."
That's
And then
perfect.
got them to sign it for me afterwards. So
Excellent.
yeah,
That's always a
I've got
good
a
thing to get.
bunch of autograph set lists from a whole bunch of different bands. So
That's fantastic.
yeah,
I had I don't know if I told you this before. Like back in the '90s when eBay first started, I was like an original eBayer. My brother-in-law got me into it really quick.
me
I
too.
was running around finding stuff to sell, and I went into this used book. I'd go into antique stores and everything when I was working, like driving around the city. I'd stop every time I saw a used store or something and look for stuff. I'm looking through these magazines, and I find an REM um, program from a concert, and I open it up, and all the stuff falls out. I had a set list, a handwritten set list from REM,
Oh shit!
and
Wow.
a backstage pass, and all kinds of this stuff.
Oh wow.
And I'm going, whoa, $25 I bought it for.
Nice.
I put it on eBay and sold it for over $300 US.
Sweet.
Yeah.
That's a good deal.
I wish I had kept it now, but at
You
that
should
time I
have.
didn't really care about REM that much. But
Right.
yeah, it was pretty cool.
That's great.
That's one of the best things I ever found. Doc, I am totally out of the closet. I want to tell you that. I'm flying. My colors are flying when it comes to Aerosmith.
I might have an Aerosmith record here in my pile to discuss this evening.
Okay. My Mariners can't even get off the ground even when they are good. Yeah. They're not having the year they had last year. It didn't help that Robbie Ray got hurt. Any hype for the Neil Young tour? I'm not sure if dates are out yet, but I heard he announced. I'm really not happy with Neil with all the product he's put out. Like, he's just, the whole world's just full of Neil Young now. Like, every 5 seconds there's a new album, and I think he's saturating his audience. I can't afford it all, so
no,
I gave up. And I saw Neil at Massey Hall in 2014 and got his autograph. And
oh, nice.
I have it on a Everybody Knows This Is Nowhere cover, framed on my wall.
Cool.
Yeah, authentic because I got it myself. What else we got here? Yeah, I know that. Quit whining about your Mariners. Yeah, $675. That's a $1,100 bill in Canada, I would say, plus shipping, plus duty, right?
Good Lord. Yep.
Well, I don't understand that. I wouldn't pay $200 for that box.
I don't think I'd pay $200 for anything, to be quite honest.
Well,
maybe a decent box set, I guess. But
I'd pay $200 for a lot of stuff, but that's about all that box is worth to me. It's huge. My buddy had one, and it's like it's an ottoman.
Mm-hmm. Too big.
Aerosmith rocks. Their best album. That's all on you.
Not my favorite, but
that's the name of an album. I thought he was saying Aerosmith rocks.
No, Aerosmith rocks is an album.
See, that shows what I know. Where does that fall in their album?
That's early in their discography.
So would there be any hits on that I would know?
I don't know. I've got it over there, but
yeah. Is that back in the Dream On days or?
Well, let's find out.
Let me do a song and dance while we're waiting for Rob. He's pulling his Aerosmith album. Aerosmith rocks. Let's see if it really does. Let's see what's on there. Oh, okay, I've seen that cover. Yeah, I know that album.
Oh, yeah, it's got Back in the Saddle, Last Child. Those were the two big hits. I like Rats in the Cellar. I like Licking a Promise. But Back in the Saddle and Last Child were the two big hits off of here.
Cool.
Aerosmith for me is kind of like, and for most people, is kind of like late 70s Aerosmith and then like late 80s Aerosmith. And
yeah, the late 80s Aerosmith where they start getting more poppy and top 40-ish.
And I have all of it, and I love all of it.
Yeah.
But for me, I'm in the minority that likes the late 80s Aerosmith only because I was like 12 or so when that stuff was coming out.
Oh,
so
yeah.
For me, that was my first experience of Aerosmith.
Rock ballads and all that stuff.
Yeah. Like, Crying and Crazy and
yeah.
Loving and Elevate. Like, that's the stuff that I grew up on. So for me, that's for the sentimentality, that's why I prefer it.
Derek, I'm not sure if you're slamming Janis Joplin or Ann Ramsey. I don't even know who Ann Ramsey is. But I'm a huge Janis Joplin fan, so dissing Janis on this channel is not allowed. So Aerosmith at California Jam 2.
I saw them on the Honkin' on Bobo tour.
I've never seen them.
They're doing their.
I saw Steven Tyler on America's Got Talent.
There you go. They're doing their reunion or their farewell tour. They just did.
Yeah, thank God. Bye.
I'd like to go, but it's like I've seen them already. So
my nephew just surprised me the other day. Sent me an email saying he bought us tickets to go see Steve Hackett at Massey Hall in October.
There you go.
Yeah, he's such a great guitar player.
There you go.
I got Mark Volman's new book signed. Got it at his concert recently. Oh, very cool. Um, was that the original book, the one where he says "My Date with Jimmy" or something? Was that book? Have you ever seen that book? They actually made a movie out of it. He
Yeah, I
made
don't know.
wrote a book about all his experiences playing with Zappa and meeting Hendrix and all these people, and they actually made a movie with actors and stuff playing the
Oh, yeah?
role.
Cool.
It's on. I'm pretty sure it's on Amazon Prime.
Oh, okay.
A Date with Jimmy or something.
Yeah, I've seen it. I think it's Amazon, but I've
Yeah, it's
seen
on one of
the
those streamings or Roku or
yeah.
Tubi or one of them ones. But yeah, it's
I've
actually
scrolled past it and never watched it.
pretty cool book though. Lots of good stories. Then I bought a bundle of Tiger Beat and 16 magazines and Crawdaddy from Value Village. Oh, that's pretty cool.
Nice.
I was at Value Village today, man. They they have been overloaded with really good classic rock CDs in the last couple of weeks.
Really?
I can't believe the stuff I've picked up. Every time I'm walking out of there with like 6, 7 CDs, I usually find maybe one if I'm lucky.
I was down in your neck of the woods again last week.
No, where were you?
I was in Coburg.
Why didn't I thought you were going to call me?
Well, because it was a last minute thing, and I was there on Monday, and the record store wasn't open, and I was
Yeah.
literally there. I had 2.5 hours of work to do at a customer's, and then I had to get my ass back to
Oh, that's
Toronto
too
to get to
bad.
another. I didn't have time,
Oh
but
no, I'm
I will be back because I have to go to that customer's fairly regularly. Had it not been a Monday, I would have met up so we could
yeah,
go to the record
cool.
store.
Yeah,
But
let
I
me
was
know.
literally in and out.
Oh, oh, that's too bad. No, I'm disappointed. What's up, guys? I'm filming for my daughter's channel. I'll be around later. Well, thanks, John.
We'll make sure we're done by then.
Yeah, well, yeah. Thanks for warning us. We're gonna have an early chat. You planning on getting Here Comes Sunshine box set from GD? No, I would love to, but I just can't. It's hard to afford these sets, man. To bring them up into Canada, it's like I don't know what the set's probably $180 US, and then by the time you get it up here, it's like $400 with frickin' duty and everything. Man, Caleb, but I would love to have it. Are you getting it? Back in the saddle again. I'm back in the saddle again. Gene Autry. I once paid $208 for a CD at Amazon Amoeba Records, $8 for the disc and $200 for towing because been there, done that. That's hilarious. $208 CD. Oh God. I was the last child, just a punk in the streets. Honestly, Glenn, you should re-listen to Aerosmith's first album, Real Blues. I can't do Steven Tyler, and I
You
think
should.
Joe Perry is the really overrated guitar player.
Sorry, I said to say goodnight to my son there. That's why I had
That's
to duck
okay. Good night, son.
Oh, I love
Ragdoll is a great
Ragdoll.
song. The Ragdoll, the Four Seasons.
No.
Ragdoll, she's a ragdoll. That Frankie Valli can sing high.
I'd say don't quit your day job, Glenn, but you're retired. So
I have a 4-octave voice. You didn't know that? The Lennon sisters or the Gabor twins? Who you got?
well, I know who the Lennon sisters are, but I don't know who the Gabor twins are.
Eva and Zsa Zsa Gabor? You don't know
well,
them?
there you go.
You never watched Green Acres?
No. I'm not 75 years old, Glenn.
Well, it's on the comedy channels.
I don't watch much
Ever seen the
TV.
Beverly Hillbillies?
I remember it being on, but I never watched it.
Really? I think they're classic shows, man. I'm not slamming. I'm just depressed. People are dying. I'm sorry.
Derek needs a hug.
Oh, people are. Funny how Hackett is his name, and he's anything but a hack on the guitar. Yeah, he's amazing guitar player. Yeah, I don't know what Steven Tyler thinks.
I don't think it's. I own that album. It's called "We're All Somebody from Somewhere." I have it on vinyl. I like it. The version of Dream On that's on there sucks. I don't think it's country though. It doesn't sound country to me.
Definitely start. I'm not starting with any Aerosmith. Leave me alone.
Mama Kin and Dream On are fantastic.
Mark wrote a new book called Happy Forever. Oh, okay. He made the movie and made a book in 3. That's it. Okay. Sorry. Thanks for straightening that out. Oh, I might have to look into that book. There's another new book I want to read too. It's somebody just wrote a book on Leon Russell. It's supposed to be really good too.
Hmm.
Do you like Leon Russell, or do you pay much attention to his stuff?
I haven't. I know that I need to. Um, it's on my list. I have this growing list of stuff that I know I need to get into. Lately, I don't have time to discover new music. I barely have time to listen to what I've got right now. So
Oh wow! Well, Larry and I are back doing our CD
I
exchanges, so
saw
I'm
that.
listening to 5 new CDs a week here. This is getting a lot of pressure.
I don't get time to listen. Unfortunately, the only
When
time
you
I have
work,
right now to listen to music is
you
when I'm
work and you got
driving
a
in the
family.
car.
That's tough. That takes away a lot of your free time.
Yeah, I'm just so
Yeah,
bloody busy right now.
I got nothing to do. I was just walking along with my dog yesterday, thinking I probably actually sit and stare at my stereo, listening to music, nothing but paying attention to the music, not ironing and vacuuming at the same time, at least 25 hours a week.
Oh, I wish.
Yeah, I was looking the other day. It's like at least 3 hours a day minimum, and probably 5 hours a day on Saturday and Sunday.
Wow. I try to work from home at least one day a week to do office stuff and that kind of thing. And it's usually a Friday because no one wants to see salespeople on
Yeah,
a Friday. And I listen to records then, but I put it on and then I'm sitting here working. So I only sort of half absorb it. But
yeah, yeah. No, I try just to. I'll put especially if there's on the weekends, like I'll start watching baseball at like 1 o'clock in the afternoon or something, and watch
right.
baseball games and listen to music all freaking afternoon with the sound down on the ball game.
Nice.
Yeah. I bought all the Turtles albums for CD and $20.
The Ninja
Wow.
Turtles? Wow.
Well, I'm sure they're all happy together, those CDs.
Oh boy. That's terrible. Well,
I
that's
know.
worse than your singing was.
It used to crack me up that Frankie Valli sang "Walk Like a Man." Yeah.
Yeah.
Walk like he had that voice. I don't know how that caught on,
Did you
but
ever see the Jersey Boys movie? That's pretty good.
yeah, I never haven't watched it.
Oh, it's good. It's really good. And actually, when it was a musical, the wife and I went and saw the musical, and it was really good too.
Yeah, I heard it was good. H&R Puffin stuff, that's classic TV. That's probably your age, right?
Nope.
Oh, it was before your time?
I don't
Glenn, did
know. The
you
name
sit around
sounds
the
familiar,
TV
but
with your folks and watch Lawrence Welk as a lad? No, but I had an uncle who was a big Lawrence Welk fan. My
oh, my
my mom and dad
grandmother.
weren't, but,
I think it was on like Sunday nights or something. Whenever
yeah, it
I'd
was
go on,
yeah,
that's what would be
Lawrence
on.
Welk. I remember it well, going to my uncle's place and Lawrence Welk would be on. Hack It to Bits, a great instrumental on GTR. GTR got what's that? GTR. I have some Leon. Good evening,
There's
Mike.
Mike.
Wow.
Our
Mike,
video will be up soon, Mike. I just haven't quite finished editing yet.
does Mike want to join us, you think?
You should join us, Mike.
Mike, do you want to come up? I'll put a link. We can have
He's
an almost
becoming the live stream veteran now. He was on with Steve from All the World's a Stage last week on Sunday. I think it was his first live stream.
yeah, I have some Leon. So speaking of Leon Russell, the reason I asked was because I've always been a fan, and I saw this album, but I think it was released like 10 years ago or something, but I just saw it recently for the first time. It's called Signature Songs, and it's released on George Harrison's Dark Horse label. And it's Leon doing all his kind of top 10 songs, just him solo piano. And it's a really intimate album, and it's really good. I just can't stop playing it. I'm absolutely loving it.
That's good.
You guys like Nielsen? To a point. I'm not as big a Nielsen fan as some people are, but I appreciate his talent, and he's got a great voice, and he knew how to drink. I listened to Freak Out today, and it was a good album and a good song from him. It's good. You Didn't Try to Call Me and Who Are the Brain Police. Freaking awesome album, Freak Out. Awesome. One of the best ever. Brandon had a home
Yeah.
run to tie the game 2-2. All right.
He's been on fire lately.
He has been playing great.
I mean, beginning of the season, he was almost a guaranteed
Oh,
strikeout, and
I
now
know.
he's
Him and
on fire.
Varshaw were both the same. It was like, oh, wow, what are you doing with those dudes? And then, yeah.
Yeah. You see, we sent Manoa down to the minors, eh?
I've been jumping up and down saying that for a week. Why
So have
aren't they
I.
sending him to the minors? Like, this
So
makes
have
no
I.
sense. And that game last night was a waste of frickin' time. Were they really
Yep.
thinking he was just going to turn it around overnight?
Nope.
Like, that was guaranteed lose night as
Yep.
soon as you knew he was playing.
Yep.
Feel sorry for him, but man, come on.
Well,
We're
he's had more than enough opportunity to get his shit together.
trying to win something here.
Yeah.
Hey guys, greetings from Columbus, Ohio, alleged new home of Mike Babcock.
Yeah.
You got that friggin' religious nut from the Philadelphia Flyers you just traded for too. Enjoy him too. They just traded 3 players for some defenseman from Philly who doesn't like gay people. GTR, one album from Steve Howe. Oh yeah, okay. Wow, I've never heard that album. Ever hear Lou Christie? Yeah, Lightning Strikes. That was his big hit. I have a Booker T and the MG's comp, which I think is great. The amazing band.
Yeah, I don't think I have any.
Yeah. Are you guys getting that new McCartney book of pictures? No.
Nope.
No. If there's something written about McCartney, I'll read it, but I'm not interested in picture books. They sit on the shelf and collect dust.
I don't even buy books because that's money I could spend on records.
I buy used books. I'll go to anywhere I can do a used bookstore and buy them. Or there's a book. I think it's called bookoutlet.ca. You can go on there and buy like hardcover books and new books for like $6-7. So I'll go on there and buy 3 or 4 books and I go to the library a lot too. Do you like to read?
I do. Hold on a second.
Do you read music biographies or?
No, I don't. I honestly, I don't read anymore. I can read, obviously. Again, it falls under the I don't have time to read. And when I used to, I like reading fiction.
Oh, really? See, I can't read fiction. I just
fiction.
like reading biographies. I can read
sports
biographies, music biographies, sometimes political biographies, but it's got to be a true story.
Of no interest to me.
Really? Oh, yeah. I love that. Oh,
nope.
Man. And the earlier years, the better. Like, I don't really want to, like, I just read Sting wrote a book about his life from the time he was born until he joined the police.
Right.
And it was the most interesting book. I didn't want to know about what after he joined the police. I just wanted to know.
I couldn't care about any of that. I couldn't
really, because I'm fascinated by how they became who they became. Like that's
I couldn't care less.
Oh man.
Yeah. I do enjoy reading. I just don't have the time to do it these days.
That's weird. Wow. My poor dad would get dragged away Saturday night hockey and CBC by mom to watch Lawrence Welker. Oh, that's terrible.
Oh boy.
Your dad should have stuck up for himself. No kid. That's what I call whipped. Come on, honey, turn off that game and watch Lawrence Welk with me. Yeah.
Nope.
Excuse me, could I speak to my divorce lawyer, please?
That's why you need 2 TVs.
Driving these recordings. I am not a huge fan of Nielsen Schmielsen and Son of Schmielsen. I think those albums are a bit overrated for me. I like certain songs on them, but yeah, hopefully Manoa works it out. I'm afraid he's going to turn into Ricky Romero. Remember him?
Yeah, I do, but I kind of look at it like this. Remember Halliday?
Yeah, he went down.
He had a bad stint. We sent him down to the minors, and he came back and turned into a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
So,
but Ricky Romero was like our number 1 pitcher going into the season, and couldn't throw a strike.
Right.
It never recovered.
Well, I mean, look at last year. Kikuchi was the worst pitcher we've had in years, and look at him now; he's fantastic.
Turned it around, yeah.
So I hope
so. With Barrios has turned it around.
Yeah,
and hopefully when Ryu comes back from his Tommy,
what are they thinking? Like end of June, beginning of July?
That'll be a big.
He's with the team now, doing work.
Yeah,
so
yeah, and he's lost a ton of weight. He looks like a different human being.
Yeah.
Glenn, where are you when Joe Carter hit that home run? I was living in an apartment in downtown Toronto, right behind Maple Leaf Gardens, and sitting in with my wife and watching it, and then walked out on Yonge Street, which was just right outside our door, and Watched everybody go nuts.
Does anybody care where I was?
Where were you?
Apparently. I was so that was 93, so I would have been 15 years old. I was obviously living with my parents, and we were watching the game. Joe hit the home run. I ran out in the backyard, started running circles around the backyard, screaming at the top of my lungs. And it's funny because you could hear other people in the neighborhood doing the same thing.
It was pretty special.
Yep.
Touch them all, Joe.
You'll never hit a bigger one.
Yeah. Have a great night, guys. Got to take off. Thanks, Caleb.
Thanks, Caleb.
Go Jays. 2 years before he died, Leon released Life Journey, which contained a great song called Big Lips. I've never heard that album. I should get that. I'm going to start getting more Leon. I got Carney, and I have his first album and maybe another one, and a hits album, and then the signature song ones I got. But amazing songwriter, singer.
I didn't realize how prolific he was, but when I did that video with my buddy Bob a month or two ago, he's a huge Leon Russell fan and sort of educated me on that. And like I said, it's on my I got to get to it list.
Well, and he was a huge like a session guy in LA, and played with George at Bangladesh, and and had his own band, played with Joe Cocker and the Mad Dogs and Englishmen, played in Delaney and Bonnie's band.
Yep.
And, he's got
you don't have to worry, Dan. It's not Leafs talk, because if it was Leafs talk, I wouldn't be here.
Yeah, we can't talk Leafs with Rob. I wouldn't.
I could go put my Montreal Canadiens hat on.
Yes, that's why we're just not even going there. Rob and I like to remain friends.
Yeah.
We don't talk politics, religion, and hockey.
That's right.
Yeah, Booker T. Well, everything they do is great because it's just such an amazing band.
Yep.
Looks like Florida Panthers are toast already. Let's do the home games first. It's funny when in the old days of hockey, playoffs were always like, you always won your home games, and it would go like 6-7 games.
Yep.
And nowadays, home ice means absolutely nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this series, maybe it's going to be a homer series. So I got to give Florida a chance to bounce back at home. I was expecting a better series. Let's say I'm kind of disappointed. I usually don't care about these types of books, but it's never seen pictures that Paul captured them. Oh, I've read about that book. Yeah, it's all early Beatlemania pictures. I'd like to see them, but
I wouldn't mind flipping through it, but I would not buy it.
Me too.
Nor would I read it if
I'll
it were
probably
anywhere.
go to Chapters or Barnes and Noble in the States.
Stand there and flip through it.
And go and look at it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Watching the Leafs or Lawrence Welk?
Oh, Lawrence Welk. unless the Leafs were playing the Habs.
I want a moment of jubilation when the Canucks win the cup. Yeah, well, if you're still around. I don't know how old you are, but good luck with that. I was 14 when the Leafs won the cup in 67, and now I'm going to be 70 this month. So time passes without Stanley Cups.
Yeah.
Even as a Montreal fan, 93 is a long time
93
ago.
was a long time ago. And 2 years ago was pure heartbreak.
Yeah. Any box set you were hoping to come out this year or waiting for? Who's next? If it ever comes out.
I can tell you what I hope doesn't come out. I hope
There's
not a Rubber Soul box.
There's gonna be. I'll buy it.
I know, and I'll buy it too, and I'll still complain about it.
Yeah. I don't know what other box sets are coming out, Cardboard Head Guy. If you know any, give us a list.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, guys, can you show some cool album covers? But Roger Dean is off limits. Okay, no Roger Dean.
All right.
Jeff Merrick is one of the best at talking stuff. You guys like him? Love him. And actually, he's was a good friend of my daughter's. I've met Jeff many times. He's an awesome guy. Been to his house, hung out with him and his before he was married with his girlfriend. Him and my daughter. Jeff started out in broadcasting as a wrestling. He was into wrestling, and he used to have a show on CFRB on Toronto on Sunday nights talking about wrestling. And my daughter used to hang around with him. They used to go to all the independent shows together and stuff like that. And then he's really built a career for himself. And Jeff is very good friends with George Stomp I always
Strombolopolis.
Strombolopolis. And when my youngest daughter was 16 years old, turned 16, my daughter had a big crush on George when he was on Much Music. And Jeff brought George over to
Oh, wow.
wish my daughter a happy birthday. And
That's
we
nice.
spent the evening together. So, yeah, Jeff's a really good guy.
All the Americans watching, who the hell's George Strombolopolis?
Yeah. Well, you should know George. Just watch his show on YouTube and watch him interview John Prine and Rush and I think
like that show that
U2 guys. And I think
I like the one he used to do on the CBC.
Before we show album covers, Rob, I bought the U2. What's it called? Songs of Surrender.
Songs of Surrender. So
I was two LP store buying
2 LP or 4
CDs, and I look over over the guy who's at the counter on shoulder, and he's got the CD sitting there, still in shrink wrap, like brand new, and it's in a UCD store. And I said, "How much do you want for that?" He goes, $10.99.
So it's the 2 CD?
No, it's just the one.
Okay, the one. Okay.
So I thought, well, I'll take it. I really like it.
Yeah, good.
I like it more than I like listening to their original versions.
Really?
It's just kind of calming or something. Now
it is. Yeah, I think for me, it's what I would call a rainy day record.
Yeah, I am having trouble listening to the whole thing all the way through, but it's something I can listen to 3 or 4 songs and then kind of go, oh, that's cool.
Absolutely. I agree 100%. There aren't any that I really dislike.
Yeah.
And there's not many that I think are better than the originals. I appreciate them for what they are, but I would have to be in a mood to listen to it. Like it's going to be probably, other than Zeropa, probably the last U2 record I would pull out if I'm
if you're having a dinner party or something, you just wanted to put on some background, it would be kind of inoffensive.
Right. That would make the assumption I had friends that wanted to come over for dinner, but.
Okay, let me get caught up on these, and then we're going to show some record covers. All downhill for you, Glenn, after 14 yes.
Isn't it always
in one? There's a YouTube video of a recent Alice Cooper concert. It's still putting. I imagine Alice is still putting on a good show. Hurricanes just have to get a little bit better. Yeah, so do the Leafs. Jeff is a huge wrestling guy. Yes, he is. That's what I just said. Isn't the Who next box set coming out this year? Supposedly. They talk about it, and Pete Townsend supposedly says, I'm in Detroit. I know Strombo. Awesome.
Good.
What the fuck's going on with... Oh, sorry. What the WF is going on with Canada? Is your whole country on fire? No, just
listen, Matt. Don't be giving us shit. Every year we have to listen to you guys whine about how California's
burning down, and your lakes are disappearing, and yeah.
We just thought we'd take a turn this year.
We're just burning up the French part.
Yeah,
we won't be bilingual anymore.
Yeah, we really aren't anyway.
I'm a fan of Impact Wrestling, and Jeff had one of the guys on his radio show in Sportsnet. It's strictly WWE content. Yeah, well, my Dan, my daughter and son-in-law work for the WWE, so I'm a WWE guy. Sorry, but my daughter used to work for Impact. Isn't Strombo kind of like a calzone?
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah. Elliot, look up. How would you look it up? Oh, House of Strombo. If you don't know him, look up House of Strombo on YouTube and watch the John Prine interview and performance. It's fantastic.
All of the Strombo concerts are good.
I don't think it's a fire. It's an aftermath of legalized pot. Yeah, probably. That's funny. Okay, show an album cover. And I don't care if we rank them. Just kind of go, it's a cool cover.
So do you want to explain the premise to everybody or what?
Well, we just decided to show 12 album covers that we like. I don't know if we never really said we were ranking them. I did kind of rank them, but
I ranked mine too.
Okay, well we're going to rank them.
All right. You want me to? Why don't you go first? You never get to go first.
Did you say? Yeah, no. My daughter worked for him, photographed Impact Wrestling for a while. She's with the WWE now. And he's seen some of the House of Strombo. Oh, good. Okay. I'm going first?
Yeah, you go first.
Well, I wanted to pick a Dylan cover because I really like a lot of Bob's covers. And I think the classic ones, like Bring It All Back Home is just a cool cover with the especially of the times, because it's, he's got some records there. And there's a Fallout Shelter poster. And it just really brings back kind of that whole 60s vibe,
Sure.
and I really dig that album cover, and it's such a great record too. So,
Any songs in that I would know?
um, Mr. Tambourine Man,
Okay. Yeah, there you go.
Subterranean Homesick Blues.
Sure.
Yeah, they're probably two best ones. A lot of
Right.
great songs on here. The whole album's great.
Well, if that's your thing.
Yeah,
Dylan is my version of your Aerosmith, right? So there you go. All right.
there's a great album for you. Steven Tyler does Dylan.
There you go. Something we would both hate.
We could both relate to that. I'd like the songs and you'd like the vocals.
Right. We could VCLT it to each other.
By the way, can I ask you, do you notice any difference with my camera and my mic? Do I sound better or look any more pretty?
Well, I don't think anything will make you look better, but
Well, no, it might make me look worse because I hooked up a webcam.
yeah, no, it looks pretty good. Yeah. Looks good. I don't know that I would have noticed. It's not like you went from, into like super HD, but no, you look good
Okay.
and you
All right.
sound good.
Cool.
You sound good. All right. So the first one I'm going to show is an album cover I love. It's pretty iconic. He's a wanker, but Clapton Slow Hand.
He's a wanker, but that is a great cover.
And here's the reason I love it. It's a gatefold.
Yeah.
And there's Clapton playing Blackie, which is the name of that Stratocaster. And the reason I love it, obviously, I'm a guitar guy.
Yeah.
And the first real guitar I ever bought was that burgundy. It's actually burgundy, but that burgundy Stratocaster there. And I think part of the reason was because I liked Clapton, and I thought, I like the sound. Not that I had any aspirations of ever being a good guitar player, because I'm not. But I just thought it was a cool cover, and it's got a Strat on it, and
I do like that cover.
it's a great album. I mean, Cocaine,
It is a great album.
Wonderful Tonight, Lay Down Sally, Next Time You See Her, The Core, one of my favorite Clapton songs. So
Lay Down Sally has so well recorded that song. When you listen to that and hear the guitar just jumps right out at you.
And it's just got this really great groove to it. It's just
It does. I love that song.
Yeah, it's a good album. That guitar that's on there, Blackie, he put that up for auction, and I think Guitar Center, the guitar chain in the States, they bought it, and it went for like $2 million, which is insane.
Wow.
Yeah.
Not bad. Wow. Okay. I'm going with Jefferson Airplane.
Ooh, which one are you going to show?
We're bathing at Baxter's.
Yeah.
I think that's a cool cover.
That is cool.
And I think I love the whole
bathing
at Baxter's thing, because that was their little inside joke about doing acid.
Right. Yeah, I knew that.
Yeah. What were you doing last night? I was bathing at Baxter's. That was meant they were tripping out.
Yep.
But great album too. Very psychedelic, trippy record. And the front and the back, kind of.
That looks like a fairly modern.
This is a repress on Sundays.
Nice.
Yeah, they're actually really good. The reissues.
Well, that's good. All right, I'm going to show one that nobody knows to fill my CanCon requirement. This is the self-titled debut from Matt Mays, who's the rocker from Dartmouth, Nova Scotia that I talk about all the time. I love. He did two album covers that are very similar to this. This one and the second one, which was Matt Mays and El Torpedo. I just love the artwork. That's him as he looked back in 2002. And there's the back. I just love the artwork of it. I just think it's colorful, and I like the aesthetic of it. And it's a fantastic record. He's more heavier now than he was back then, but this is kind of kind of maybe Tom Petty-ish, I guess would be a good way to describe it.
See, I think isn't Steve from All the World's a Stage kind of a...
Yeah, he's a big Matt Mays fan.
Yeah. He compares him to Tom Petty. He always says Canada's Tom Petty.
And I think that's true of the first couple albums, but the later albums, no, I don't think so at all. But this one especially, yes. He just bought. He's from Dartmouth, Nova Scotia, but he just bought a farm in Ancaster, which you know how far Ancaster is from where I live, like 45 minutes away.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got a big barn there that he's fixed up, and now he does concerts in his barn.
Oh, wow.
So you can pay to go see him play in his barn, and he did one a couple of weeks ago.
So it's kind of like the Ramble.
Exactly like the Ramble. So it's, what's he call it? Lost Mile Farm, I think is what he calls it. So you buy a ticket and they give you directions. I know where it is anyway.
That is exactly, that's the Midnight Rambles.
So 2 weeks ago they did one, and it was him, and he had a surprise guest, Greg Keeler from Blue Rodeo.
No way. See, that's perfect. That's awesome.
And I was going to go, and I didn't, and I'm like, son of a...
Oh, man.
Yeah.
That's very cool. One of the best interviews Neil Peart did was on George Strombo's show. Yeah. There's actually a really good interview he did.
He's a good interviewer. I think he's kind of full of himself these days, but he is a good interviewer for sure.
Yeah. Tasty by the Good Rats is my favorite album cover. I don't know that one.
I don't know that one either.
Album covers are Larry's thing too, yes. I think Larry's sleeping tonight. How did you guys need to get on board with light? How do you guys need to get on board with lighting?
Listen, Matt, none of us are professional photographers except for you. And I know I picked your brain, and I still can't figure out, because it's like goddamn rocket science. So unless you want to come up to Canada and show me how to do it, this is what you're going to have to watch.
What's wrong with our lighting?
Apparently it sucks.
Oh, I had a guy the other day. I've had this guy who's only commented twice on my channels, and both times when I've had technical glitches on videos.
Right.
He jumps all over me like I'm the dumbest mother effer that ever lived.
We're not professional. Like
he says, so I put up a video, and I plug in earphones with a mic on the side when I do my own videos and record like an idiot. I plug in the headphones, but I don't put them on. I leave them laying down. And I did the video, and then I never had time to really watch it back. I was busy, and I wanted to get it up before I went out.
Right.
And I just uploaded it.
Right.
And then I come back and I go, I wonder if anybody's been watching my video. And I click on, and I got one comment from this guy. Glenn, I can't hear you. And why don't you get some equipment that works? Like, it was just like the rudest. Like, I mean,
dude, we're all just amateurs here filming in our basements, for God's sakes. You don't like it, don't watch.
Oh, I was so pissed at him.
We're not like Netflix or friggin' CBS or whatever. God.
Yeah, I'll see if I can get my producer to bring in some lighting experts. Yeah.
I wanted to work on the lighting, and I mean, obviously I'm on my laptop right now, but when I make my videos, I film them on my iPhone, because I'm not smart enough to figure out.
Well, when I watch your videos or watch my videos back, the lighting's fine. I don't see any.
I'd like to improve mine, and I picked Matt from Prime Analog. I picked his brain because he's a professional photographer by trade. That's what he does.
He's a professional photographer. She could help him, but she's in Florida, so
right. Well, so is Matt. But I picked Matt's brain, and he and I had a Zoom call, and he offered some really helpful hints, but I still couldn't make it work. And I'm just like, I give up.
I'm quite happy with my lighting. I don't want to look too good. If you ask me, no one did. Dylan's best albums are the ones from the 60s. Yeah. Didn't ask you, but I agree with you. Mom's Apple Pie had a tasty album cover, if you know what I mean. I'm not sure.
I like Apple Pie.
With the jokes. I don't know. Both of you guys need to get on board with modern lighting.
Yeah, we know that.
It's a huge difference. Yeah.
I have lights.
If I spent $10 on lighting, I'd be minus $10 on my YouTube videos.
You mean you don't get those big paychecks every month from YouTube?
Yeah. It's not enough to buy a record. So
I can't even cross the threshold to get there. So
yeah, trust me. When you get it takes me 3 months to get a check from them to build up enough money that they even bother to send me any. I'm not. It's
probably about $4.75.
The only thing it allows you to do is use it as a job to write off.
And that's why I want to do it.
That's the best part.
I've been stuck at just below 800 now for 6 months. It's
not the money you're generating. It's the fact that you're generating some and you can use it as a business.
Exactly.
Yeah. That Clapton live album is good with Albert Lee in the band.
Yes, it is.
Which one's that? There's so many live Claptons. I really like the one from with Derek Trucks in it, the Live at San Diego.
Mm-hmm.
That's freaking amazing.
Yep.
And speaking of box sets, didn't he just come up with a box set on the 24 Nights album? I think he released the whole
maybe
thing.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
Clapton's got a lot of live albums.
He does.
Lay Down Sally's a ripoff of J.J. Cale. Well, pretty much, I would say inspired by J.J. Cale, because everything he did was inspired by J.J. Cale after a certain point.
Yep.
Like after he left Cream and went with Blind Faith and then discovered Delaney and Bonnie and hung out with them, and Delaney Bramlett had a huge impact on his stuff, on his earlier albums, and then J.J. Cale, once he found him, it was kind of like a mix of all that. And
yep,
definitely. Cocaine is one of the most ambivalent songs ever. Is promoting cocaine or is it a cautionary tale? That's a deep question.
That's maybe open for interpretation.
Yeah. Cocaine's for horses. It's not for men. Doctor says it'll kill you, but he don't say when. Hey, hey, buddy, let the cocaine be. Cocaine blues. Over 400 fires burning across Canada. It's only June. It will get worse. Welcome to climate change. I picked Volunteers by the Airplane today in CD. Great frickin' album. That Matt Mays cover reminds me of Sloan. Pretty together.
Yeah. Love Sloan.
Listen to Anyway the Wind Blows by J.J. Cale and you'll see where Lay Down. Yeah, no, I agree. I don't think Eric Clapton, if you sat down with him.
Oh, he'd admit to it, I think.
Of course he would. Yeah. A good makeup crew could mitigate the lighting issues. Yeah, probably. Glenn, I can see the hair in your nose. Great lighting. Rob, too much. Oh, geez.
How about that?
Shadow from your hat, Bill.
Or I could wear it backwards and look like one of those
Hair
kids.
looks like a lobster coming, or a spider or something. I can help with the heading to the Great White North. I'm heading to Maine soon. How far are you from there? Oh, it's just like half an hour, 30 minutes.
Yeah, something like that.
Just head north. You'll find us. Just when you cross the border, just ask for Rob.
We all know each other.
Yeah. I don't want to see a well-lighted image of these two. No, I don't.
No, you probably don't.
Yeah. You
leave a little bit to the imagination.
Those out reissues on vinyl, $110. Yeah, the price is ridiculous.
Yep.
Jamie Cottle just did a review of them, I think.
So I just bought on that topic. I mentioned Noel Gallagher's new album today because I love Noel Gallagher. It's like 10 songs. It's got a gatefold cover, and it was $59.
That's ridiculous.
It's stupid.
It is stupid.
It's stupid. But I wasn't going to pass on it because I'm a big fan. So
that is crazy. A perfect commercial for CDs. The CD is probably $15.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
I can't do the albums. I'm very picky on what I'm buying on vinyl.
Well, so am I. I've really, really scaled back.
Yeah. The new Dylan I bought. I always buy both CD and vinyl. I bought them both.
Right.
But there's very few artists that I would do that with.
I think I've only bought 2 records in the last 3 months.
Wow. Yeah.
And one of them was my Holy Grail, which
we'll find out about shortly.
Yeah.
Okay. Next album cover.
All right, you're up.
I'm showing 2 at once because I wasn't sure which one I liked from the same band. So I'm cheating.
Uh-oh.
It's 10A and 10B.
All right.
For those counting at home. That band, The Comet is Coming, that I'm into, from their UK jazz band from London. We got turned on to them. Our first name came up when we had Arthur Brown on Larry's chat there that day. He mentioned them. And I've fallen in love with the band. It's just a saxophone, drums, and synthesizer. And they're just got so much energy. The music's amazing, but their album covers are freaking awesome.
Okay.
Absolutely beautiful covers.
Okay.
Just great artwork. I mean, you could hang that up.
You know what's funny? That one there reminds me, my best friend put out an album a few years ago, and I helped them do it, and we commissioned some artwork, and it looks very similar to that. Hold on.
If you like jazz and kind of dance vibe and high energy stuff. Check out the Comet is Coming.
Show that second one. Show that second one again, Glenn. Well, that kind of looks a lot like this.
Yeah, it's fairly similar kind of.
Yeah, I mean, it's not this,
aesthetic.
but I mean, it's in the same vein.
Yeah, it's got kind of the straight, kind of
Yeah,
square kind of design things. Yeah, very cool.
All right.
Okay.
So my number 10, and I think I just need to show it, and I think you'll understand why I've picked it, because it looks like another album. Why did I pick this one? What does that kind of look like?
That looks like the.
It kind of looks like Revolver.
It does kind of, yeah. I was trying
Right?
to think, yeah, in a way, yeah.
So, I mean, I love this album. This is Jet. They're a rock band from Australia. This came out in 2003. Are You Gonna Be My Girl was the big hit, and so was Cold Hard Bitch. Great rock band. I've loved this album since the day it came out. I've played it thousands of times. This just music on vinyl just pressed this
Oh, cool.
a couple years ago. I love the album, but I love the cover. I mean, the album's fantastic.
And how old was that album? Like, when was that originally released?
Originally released in 2003.
Okay.
But I just love that it every time I look at it, I'm like, it just reminds me of Revolver. So
yeah, that's true. I know. Yeah,
Jets Get Born.
Very cool. Jet. Oh, what are we doing here? You guys get lobster cheap over there? Well, we're not close enough to the ocean, really. They got to ship it into us. But if you're on the East Coast or the West Coast, I think you can get lobsters fairly. It's not really that expensive, but
I'm so close to the ocean, you'd have to get on a 737 and fly for 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
That's how close I am to the ocean.
But yeah, it's not that expensive. Like there's a pub not far from us that on Friday nights they have you got a lobster tail and a steak for $24.
Yep.
So is there an Allman Brothers live album that is better than the first Fillmore? No, there's hardly any live albums ever that are better than that.
I don't think so.
First Fillmore. But the Allman Brothers have a ton of live albums, and they're all really good. If anyone mails you CDs from the U.S., do customs charge you a tax? It depends
on the dollar value.
On the dollar value, yeah. If you put that there's no commercial value, you're pretty good. But if you say that's $100, you're probably getting it.
Sort of from my personal experience, it seems to be anything over about $75 I get charged a whatever.
Although I just had a kind viewer who watches our chats. I can't remember what his name is on the chats, but his name's Derek, and he's in England. He sent me a police box set of CDs, all their whole collection.
Wow.
I don't even know how he got my address.
Wow.
Which is really kind of scary.
I don't even know your address.
Yeah. And I just go to mail and I open up and go, what the hell is this? And I open it up and I got a nice note and thank you, enjoy your chats. And nice. I didn't recognize his name. It was Derek Crutchfield, I think is his name.
That's awesome.
And I had to do a video on it, opening the set and then saying, please, whoever you are, can you please come forward?
That's great.
No live album better than Allman. Yeah, you can argue it's the best.
Yep.
And no one would argue it. Did you get into Poco back in the day? Yes.
No.
Early Poco, before their hits, they got too poppy with that. It happens all the time. It's crazy love. My all those songs are too commercial. But if you get the original first two Poco albums, they're fantastic.
That's when Randy Meisner was still in the band?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys have ever found a good receiver or today? There's a Yamaha natural sound receiver there that it's absolutely freaking mint.
Really?
$59.99. I came out to the car, my wife, I'm going, they got an amp in there that's freaking beautiful. It's got to be worth $400 or $500.
Nice.
You need an amp?
If I saw one for $59, I'd probably buy it. I mean, I've got a Yamaha Natural Sound now that I love. So
You should. I always go into. I always look at the amps and stuff to get. It's amazing the
I
stuff I've seen in there.
I live 5 minutes from Valley Village, and I don't think I've been in there in 25 years.
Oh, you should go in, man.
Really?
Yeah, you should go in and look at the electronics. Even like just go in every day, and like you'd be surprised.
Huh?
I saw. Is it Pioneer or Panasonic who has that Elite series amps? They're really expensive. They're audiophile
Right.
amplifiers, and they're called the Elite series. I think it might be Pioneer. So it's kind of like their real high end stuff. And I'm in Value Village, and my nephew, he's over looking at CDs, and I'm looking at this thing, $60. And it blew my freaking mind. And I ran
Wow.
over to my nephew and said, "You got to come and check this freaking amp out." We go over there, the guy's picking it up off the shelf.
Ah,
He
shit.
brought it in front of me. Like, yeah, you should go into Value Village.
I might do that. Maybe on Friday when I'm working from home.
And even for records, like go through the records, man. You'd be surprised. Today
Really?
I looked through the records. I saw now some of them I didn't look at the condition of them because sometimes the condition sucks, but I saw Neil Young's After the Gold Rush.
Yeah.
I saw Rod Stewart's Every Picture Tells a Story. I saw two Beach Boys albums, and I forget what else, but I didn't really look at the condition of them because I really wasn't I was looking at CDs, and
Huh.
I'm looking
Really?
for a Blu-ray video player. And they have
Mhm.
lots of really nice ones in there, but for some reason, when people bring their Blu-ray players in there to get rid of, they never bring the remotes.
We could use a universal
Can you do that?
remote.
Can I hook up a universal remote so it lacks? You know how like on the video you gotta pick the extras and all that stuff. Like if you
Oh,
don't have a
yeah, yeah.
remote,
You just have to program it for the player, but a universal remote will do it. Absolutely.
huh?
You can get
But
them for
they're
like
only like $10.
you can get a universal remote for like $9 at Crappy Tire.
Yeah, and the player's only $10.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Oh, well, maybe
I
I'll
have a
go.
Blu-ray player and I haven't played a Blu-ray or DVD in years. I've got tons of them, but I can't be bothered. So what I do is I just download it and I've got a massive hard drive hooked up to my home network and all my
Yeah.
TVs pull media off of it. So
I just I don't watch like I don't watch movies. Me,
right.
it's concert videos,
Yeah.
and I don't even watch those that often. Usually, I play the records and whatever, but the odd time. Oh, snap!
Ooh. The
This
wife
could
and I
take
were
up the whole
chatting about
2 hours. We're not even going to talk about records anymore.
this. I got a lot.
Oh, go ahead.
I mean,
Potato chips?
no, my wife's a chip fan. I'm not.
Yeah.
My biggest kryptonite, and if you're American, you won't know what this is. The ice cap from Tim Hortons is my.
Oh yeah.
I probably drink 2 of them a day, every single day. What else? Love chocolate, kind of any
Yeah,
kind. But
chocolate bars.
oh yeah, love them. Like an Aero bar,
Yeah,
fantastic.
yeah, I like Aero
What
bars
else?
too.
Oof.
I've been trying
Uh,
to get I'm trying not to eat potato chips anymore, and because I used to snack on them every day, and I've been into pretzels
oh yeah.
because they don't have as many. You can eat like 70 pretzels for like 75 calories or something.
True.
Yeah.
The other thing that I crave all the time, from the minute I get out of bed till the minute I go to sleep and I dream about it, is chicken wings.
Oh, I love chicken wings
Oh
too.
my god,
I could live on chicken wings.
I could too.
Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah, chicken wings and pizza, to tell you the truth. If you said that
absolutely.
would be
Yep,
my only food
yep.
I could ever eat in my life, I'd be happy.
It's like we're long lost brothers. Chicken wings, pizza, and you and I hate being outside.
Yeah. That's hilarious. Funny Poco started finally getting paid when they had those late. Yeah, well, of course. That's, like that's what all these bands do. There's REO Speedwagon put out 2 great rock albums and then never made a dime, and then you know, then it's rock ballads, and I'm sure Aerosmith made a frickin' fortune off of all those hits from the 80s. Maybe you could order an album in the US and have it shipped to a friend in the US, and they remove cello and ship it to you. Wait, that's starting to sound like Kramer cell phone. No, I'm just kidding. No,
I've done
it's
that.
still
I've done that.
but the postage is not cheap.
No.
to send a record.
There's also a ton of like cross-border shipping services where you can ship to a U.S. post office box on the border and go pick it up. Or there's
Yeah.
even some where you can ship to a U.S. address and then they'll bulk everything together and bring it over to a Canadian location where you can pick it up. There's tons of ways around it.
Yeah. I hope this is past the time when you can get arrested for stuff, but back in the when I lived in Alberta in the 80s, a friend of mine was distributing high-end banjos at the time called Liberty Banjos, and they made banjos anywhere from, this is back in like early 80s, and these banjos, like the cheapest one was probably $1,000, and the most
Oof.
expensive one was 10,000.
Wow.
And they were incredible. And we would go down to Montana, and he would get them shipped some, and then we would smuggle them across the border so we didn't pay duty on them.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm driving through the border with a $10,000 banjo. You got anything to report? No, nothing.
No.
Yeah, no, just came down for a visit.
I always get paranoid when I'm crossing the border, even if I have nothing.
Yeah, I know. Isn't it funny? They make you nervous even if you
Oh
got
my
nothing.
God.
The anal cavity search is coming.
I remember one time I was going to Michigan for work, and I had nothing in my car except my golf clubs, and I put them there for a reason because I'm like, wasn't going golfing, but I'm like, in case I need an excuse. And I was at the border, and the guy's like, "What are you going down for?" I said, "Well, I'm going down for a sales meeting for the company that I work for." I said, "And I'm meeting a friend. We're going to play some golf." And he goes, "Pop your trunk. I want to see if you have golf clubs." Which is lucky that I had my golf clubs in the car.
Wow.
I mean, I guess if I didn't, I could
You
have
could have
said,
said, "Well, I'm going to rent some."
I'm going to rent them. But yeah, I did. I get totally paranoid, even though
Yeah,
everything to
and you're
declare.
not doing anything wrong. I know it's crazy.
I mean, I go down to the States all the time for work, right? Because I work for an American company. And if I'm flying, I only take a carry-on and I bring nothing back and I pack the absolute minimum.
Yeah.
I just don't want the hassle.
Well, when we go down to Florida, we bring. But nowadays, if you go down for a week or two, you got like $800 each
Yeah.
that you can claim. Like, I mean, how much money? It's not like I'm money bags here. Like, I
Right.
wouldn't spend between the two of us $1,600. Not a chance. We're lucky we
Yeah.
got a couple of $100 worth of stuff. I ordered the car's Rhino present. He had to pick it up, post them, was charged additional $16 GST. Yeah, that's just bullshit.
Yeah.
But Gershwin speakers at VV they sold for $1,600.98 and it's paid $40. That's
Holy
insane.
moly.
I'm telling you, you should go look for stuff.
I get to pop in there on Friday. I'm gonna work from home Friday, and I'll go in there and I'll report back on what my finds were.
Yeah, that's the problem. I went and looked at CDs today, and there was two guys looking at them ahead of me, like, and I'm going, I hope you left something good here.
I have no interest in CDs, so
Yeah, I like both.
it's not that I'm not like vinyl's better. I'm not one of those people. It's just it doesn't hold an appeal to me. I have a bunch of CDs, but I
Wow.
just prefer the tactile experience of putting a needle on some vinyl. So
When I'm lazy, CDs just seem better. Like I can sit on the couch for an hour and listen to a CD, and I got to get up and flip the record. And
see, when I'm lazy, I go digital because I have my whole library
oh yeah,
digitally,
no, I gotta.
and I have a media streamer hooked up to my stereo, so I can stream all my digital stuff over my stereo.
I bought a Pioneer Elite SCCD for $300. It sounds amazing. Yeah, see, I'm sure it does. That Elite series is pretty good stuff. Pretzel salt can tear your mouth apart. Yes, be careful of the pretzel salt. Nice grab on the Elite. Yeah, has one very nice player. Yeah, I'm sure it is. Wings and pizza. Bingo. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah. What's
Now
on the
I
pizza? Okay, now I got it. We're not even showing record covers. What's on the pizza?
Jesus, we still have like 9 records to go.
I know. If we don't get through them, it's
Well, I want to get through them. I got some good ones here,
okay.
including some Aerosmith.
All right. What's on the pizza? I gotta know.
Oh, meat. I'm a meat pizza guy. So pepperoni, bacon, sausage, maybe some ground beef.
Oh yeah, see, we're exact. We order veggie pizzas now.
So let me
And my
ask you
wife,
this. Does
She's very
pineapple
heart healthy, and
does
she doesn't like.
pineapple belong on a pizza?
Yes,
No,
yes.
it's fruit.
Um,
You don't put it on a pizza. No,
yeah, yeah.
no.
My wife's heart healthy, so she doesn't like cheese on her pizza.
Oh, geez.
So it's a pizza. So we order a large pizza. We get the same 3 or 4 toppings, which is just tomato, onion, banana peppers, and pineapple. And then
Aside from the pineapple, it sounds like one of my wife's pizzas.
I
Yeah.
gotta say to the person on the phone, I only want cheese on half that pizza. What do you mean you only want cheese on? I said, so you want just one side of pizza without anything? And I got no, put all the 4 toppings on the whole pizza.
Just no
Cheese
cheese.
on
Yeah.
half. Like it,
Yeah.
no one gets it.
Jeez. So okay. So follow up question: wings, hot or not?
Medium.
So I'm
I
with
just
you.
like a bit of a tang on
Right.
the tongue. I've had wings that are so hot that just my mouth's on fire. I don't even enjoy them.
And I used to love that, and I used to be the guy that would eat suicide chicken wings. But in my 20s, I got a stomach ulcer from drinking
Yeah.
too much pop. And ever since then, I can't do the really spicy stuff anymore. So I'm like medium, and that's it.
Wow. Right now, you can't be outside. Darn Quebecers. Yeah, no kidding. Eh? The French, I'm telling you, they're just causing a
Tabernac.
trouble up here. Yeah, Tabernac. Music Saint's a very nice player for sure. Oh, yeah, the Pioneer thing. Yes. Ever find money in a used record? No. I wish I did. Maybe
The
he was
game's
checking
over.
the
The
records
Jays
so he
won
wouldn't get
3-2.
charged tax on the way back. A simple margarita pizza does it for me. That would probably be good. Where's Jack the Music Guy? I don't know where he is tonight.
I don't know.
Larry must be filming an infomercial tonight.
Oh yes, I make
Salt and pepper wings.
I make incredible salt and pepper wings. My wife and son ask for them on a weekly basis.
Yeah, we make our own wings too. Sometimes we do. We use an air fryer to make our
Yep,
wings.
so do we.
Yeah,
I'll also do them on the barbecue too.
yeah. One of my favorite album covers, Freewheeling. I was going to show that tonight. It was between Freewheeling and Bringing It All Back Home. That is a great album cover. Pineapple pizza is far. Is fair. Apples and lemons would not be good. And the other thing I can't handle on a pizza, chicken.
Yeah, no, that's not right either.
Doesn't belong on a pizza.
It belongs with the pizza in the form of a chicken wing.
That's right.
Right.
Okay, go ahead. Show it up.
All right. This is I don't know what I mean. Okay. I know why I like this record album cover. I mean, I like it for many reasons, but this is Davenant Doyle.
Okay.
It's an album called Liquor Store Flowers.
Yeah.
I like it because it's a fantastic album. It's kind of a contemporary rock album. She's a great vocalist. Kind of Alana Miles, but slightly a little bit folkier, maybe. I just think it's a cool, colorful album cover. She's got incredible legs. She's a radio host on the CBC. I've met her a couple times before. Absolute sweetheart. But this is just a fantastic record. But I like the aesthetics of this album. It's just it looks nice and it's colorful, and she's got nice legs. You're up.
Okay, I'm up. I picked a Frank Zappa album. I just love. Seem to like busy album covers that kind of just like find different things in all the different corners and stuff. But Grand Wazoo,
yeah.
All cartoons, and I can't tell what Frank's going on about with this cover. There's so many different things to.
I can't tell what Frank's ever going on about.
Oh no, he's pretty easy to figure out. But I'm a fan of this cover. In the back is got a cool picture of a dude back there, and that's it.
I'm going to show another one because we haven't had a ton of comments.
Go ahead. Let's get people in here.
I like ones with nice photography, and so not only is this one of my favorite albums of all time, John Lennon's Rock and Roll.
Oh yeah, that's a great picture, classic picture.
I mean, I love it because this is John.
Yeah.
From before they were famous. This is taken in Hamburg, Germany.
Yeah,
this is taken by Astrid Kircher, who was a friend of theirs who ended up falling in love with Stu Sutcliffe, the original bass player. And what most people don't know is the blurred people that are walking in front here is Paul and George and Pete.
I did not know that.
It is, yeah. I did a whole video about this album, and in
Oh,
my research,
hmm.
that's what I found out.
I've never
So,
really looked at it that closely. I never thought of that.
well, and I don't think you'd know, but
Yeah. Oh, wow.
it
Interesting.
is. So
Hmm.
the Astrid Kircher photographs of the Beatles in Hamburg before they were famous are legendary. And, this is John wanting to go back to his roots because this
Yeah.
was recorded in the mid 70s. So I
Yeah.
just love that this goes back to, the picture goes back to his roots, as does the music. So I love all those Astrid Kircher photographs. So
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, it's a classic. Miles Davis, Bitches Brew, one of my favorite album covers, but I don't have it on vinyl. But I do have this, which is kind of similar. It's the Record Store Day outtakes from Bitches Brew, the sessions, complete sessions, Rare Miles, and it's called Double Image, but it's kind of
yep.
got that same vibe
Yeah.
as.
My dad had Bitches Brew and played it all the time.
Oh yeah, it's such a great record.
I never kept it because it wasn't really my thing.
Yeah, it's such a great album. But
Yeah.
yeah, I really love these. Miles Davis got a ton of great album covers.
My next one is dedicated to you, Glenn.
It's an Aerosmith cover.
Maybe. Get a grip.
Yeah.
Not only is it maybe one of my favorite Aerosmith albums, because this is 93, so this has got Eat the Rich, Living on the Edge, Crying, Crazy, Amazing. I mean, monster hits on here, but most people don't like 90s Aerosmith. So, but I just love the picture. It's a cow that's branded with the Aerosmith logo. Its udder's got a piercing in it, obviously photoshopped, and there's the ass of the cow. But it's just such an instantly recognizable and just kind of a very Aerosmith thing to do. So,
Wow, that's utterly beautiful.
it is utterly beautiful. Yes.
Sneak in another one.
Shot.
I've been my new musical obsession is the Police.
Right.
I've been going freaking crazy. I always liked the Police, but for some reason I don't know. I bought a comp CD a few months back and started going, I'm really digging this again. I haven't listened to them for a long time, and now it's like I'm listening all the time, which has also led me into solo Sting stuff because I was a bigger Sting solo fan for his first couple albums than I was a Police fan. And he did a great live album called Bring On the Night. And I just freaking love this. It's like paintings of
that's cool.
Musicians playing. It's just a beautiful freaking album cover.
That's cool.
And the back's the same. Like it's just paintings of the band playing. And they even the inner sleeves are like that. Like they're all paintings of.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Playing. They're absolutely. There's one of Sting.
Yeah.
Like you could frame these.
You could.
It's nice art.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, so that's one of my favorite album covers, and one of my favorite live albums too, actually.
All right, I'll show another one here. From 2000, I think. U2 is All That You Can't Leave Behind.
Oh, that's a good picture.
It's beautiful. I mean, even it's simplistic. It's nice.
Yeah, those black and white photos are always cool.
I mean, I just love it because it would never happen. It's U2 standing in the middle of an airport. If U2 was standing in the middle of an airport, there'd be hundreds of people around them. I mean, it's not going to happen. So interesting. I did a video where I was talking about the artwork on this too, and I had to Google it to refresh my memory. But this is Charles de Gaulle Airport in Paris. And the gate number there on the album itself says J33-3. That was photoshopped because it's actually gate F21 to F36, but the band requested the album designer change it to be J33-3 as a reference to Jeremiah 33, verse 3 in the Bible, which says, "Call unto me, and I will answer thee great and mighty things which thou knowest not." I have no idea what the hell that means. I'm an atheist, so I have no idea what the hell that means.
Yeah.
But I just think that's a little interesting little bit of trivia that they, for some reason, put a Bible reference on there. But I just love the aesthetic of that cover, the black and white and the I just think it's nice. There you go.
That's hilarious. That's good. That's another thing we kind of agree on. I'm kind of I would consider myself more agnostic than atheist, but
Right.
because I want to hedge my bets. You never know.
Well, maybe when I get to your age and I'm closer to the other side of the hill, I might change my mind.
Pineapple pizza's okay. We already been there. Where do you stop at the Stones? Well, Rob stops at the first album.
I don't even start.
But I think anything after Tattoo You is not essential. But there's some good stuff, but not like you have to have. If you're a Stones fan, you have to have everything up until Tattoo You. After
I have Hot Rocks just because it was pulled from my dad's collection. There's a couple songs in there I like, and that's it.
Hawaiian pizza was good. We get a history lesson. It's created in the 70s in Edmonton by a Greek gentleman. His restaurant was called, of course, Hawaii Pizza. Is no longer there. He retired and moved back to Grant. Huh. Interesting. When I was in San Francisco, there's a like you go down to North Beach there, what the famous area in San Francisco where all the beatniks hung out and stuff like that. And as soon as you walk down there, there's a place called Tony's Pizza. It's the greatest Italian place you ever met to go in and get. The pizza's just freaking awesome. And we went in there and I ordered pizza and I asked him about pineapple. He's looking at me like like I'm speaking Japanese to him. He doesn't even know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I just gave up. I don't think I'd get pineapple.
You know what they say? Pizza's like sex. Even when it's bad, it's still pretty good.
Could be Lennon's best album cover. Yeah, I really like the Imagine album cover, but and then POB. But
I love the album cover for Shaved Fish. Cover. That's a great album cover, and I love the album cover for Live Peace in Toronto. It's one tiny little cloud on a blue sky.
That's
great.
Cool. I bought my first Joe Bonamassa CD, Driving Towards the Daylight. Killer stuff. Yeah, he's a great guitar player, but I find him kind of soulless for some reason. Joe Bonamassa. I've got a couple of his albums. And
that tends to be a common sentiment among a lot of folks.
200 Motels. Oh yeah, it's a great cover. I really like the album cover. Freewheeling. Yeah, it's awesome. Favorite period of Aerosmith was late 80s, early 90s.
There you go. I got someone who agrees with me.
Man. Blues Traveler or Spin Doctors?
Blues Traveler.
So 1990, I still have a ticket stub. 1992, I think, my wife and I went to South Carolina because, Bela Fleck, my banjo hero, was his band, Bela Fleck, and the Flecktones were playing down there. And we used to drive around like deadheads and follow Bela all over the place. And he was playing at this place called Carowinds in South Carolina, just right at the border of South Carolina and North Carolina.
Yeah, I know what it is. Yeah.
And they had a music festival there that used to travel the country called the Horde Festival back in the 90s.
Okay.
It was all Americana bands and stuff like that. So it was Bela Fleck and the Flecktones, the Spin Doctors, Blues Traveler. They were the top 3 bands. So we went down there for the 2-day festival or whatever. And I saw the Spin Doctors and Blues Traveler. That long.
So what was better?
Both were good.
Yeah.
Both were good. Yeah. They had that song "Little Miss Can't Be Wrong" or whatever it was. Spin Doctors, remember that was they had the kind of the one big hit.
Yep.
Josh,
look at that.
Thank you so much, sir. I appreciate that. I'll share that with Rob.
The check's in the mail.
He gets the 99 cents and I get the $13.
Woohoo! But I have to drive to Coburg to get it.
I'm old and atheist as well. Yeah. I was never baptized. My parents never baptized me.
Me neither.
Yeah. You too. I like the cover of No Line in the Horizon.
I do too. My beef with that on the first pressing of the vinyl, the little equals sign that's on there is on the shrink wrap, not on the actual album cover. So if you take the shrink wrap off, you lose the equals sign that is the line on the horizon. But I guess that's the point because it's called No Line in the Horizon.
The Jays won, eh?
Yeah, 3-2.
I can turn off my TV.
I like it because I can watch over your shoulder and see the reflection on the poster.
Oh, really? Because I'm not paying any attention to it. I didn't know it.
So if it looks like something exciting happens, then I go and I check the app.
Laugh tracks on sitcoms except Seinfeld. Some of them are annoying and some you don't really hear. but they can be bad, especially when the show's not funny.
We should have a laugh track.
Yeah, that'd be
I
awesome.
could just be here and hit the laugh button all
That'd
the
be
time.
hilarious. We should do that. But what we
Maybe
said,
I'll do that for next
yeah,
week.
just say, yeah, the sky's blue. Ah! I consider myself an apathetic agnostic. Yeah, that's good. That's
There you
good.
go.
That's a great phrase. I love that. Yeah, I'm agnostic. I don't really care. My cousin is Brad Trill, but I haven't seen him in 35 years. That's too bad. Because if my cousin was Brad Tree Living, I'd be all over him. they got more money than freaking God. Those guys. They're the Boston Pizza guys, right?
Yeah.
His dad is the Boston Pizza guy in one of the Dragons on Dragons.
Jim.
Yeah. Disraeli Gears. Oh, I didn't pull Disraeli Gears. One of my favorite album covers. Used to be my favorite. Satan is Real by the Louvin Brothers, a classic album cover. I can't remember what that looks like, but Live Cream Volume 1 is so great. They were on fire. They were. I saw Cream, 1968, Massey Hall.
Nice.
Rattle and Hum or Joshua Tree?
Oh boy. I love them both. But I've talked about YouTube endlessly. I've got a certain sentimental attachment with Rattle and Hum. So while Joshua Tree is probably the better album, for the sentimentality of it, I got to go with Rattle and Hum.
So when Rattle and Hum came out, I had it on vinyl and everything, but sold off my vinyl, and never replaced it.
Right.
And then you always talk about Rattle and Hum, how great it is. I found the used CD for like a couple of bucks at Value Village, and I bought it and played it. It's really good.
Nice.
It is really good. I kind of renewed my interest in it.
And I don't know if this is true of the American version, but the Canadian first pressing of Rattle and Hum, you look at the record, it looks normal. But if you hold it up to the light, it's actually transparent brown vinyl.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm going to see if I can find the record, because I really.
You can find it. I see it all the time in used record bins.
Really, eh?
All the time. And every record show I go to, you see it 30 times.
Yeah. I might just pick up a copy of it.
Brandon, Mr. Hall of Fame.
They're both great. I mean, Joshua Tree is a classic album. No, I think that Blind Faith album cover was the most tasteless album cover ever made. That one with the 13-year-old girl on the cover. I do not get it. Absolutely tasteless. War for the Win. Like which War album though? The one with Eric Bearden? Quicksilver Messenger, starting with Happy Trails, have great. Yeah, they do, Roy. Yeah, I love that Happy Trails cover, and I love that album too. We used to go to Trey Living's once in a while, and Brad was a year or two younger than me, and I heard he was jealous that I was tall.
Well, now you're
jealous anymore.
Now you're jealous. He's rich.
Yeah. That's funny. Did they own Boston Pizza back then? I just popped in. What's the topic? The topic is favorite album covers, and we're kind of having just a general chat with everyone and showing album covers in between talking. So we've covered pineapple pizza, chicken wings, junk food, candy, and potato chips and chocolate, and our
and the baseball game.
Yeah, and the baseball, and whether we're lots of stuff. Okay, who showed the last album cover? You or me?
I don't know, but you go. It's your show.
Well, I'm told not to show a Roger Dean cover, so I'm putting it away. I'm going with this one. I always show this as one of my favorite albums too. Caravan in the Land of Gray and Pink. Come on, man.
That's a great album cover, yes.
It is a fantastic album cover and a fantastic album. I have a poster of this in my box set I keep meaning to frame.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I love that cover.
Nice.
Great album.
All of mine are photographs. I don't have any that are artwork. So I guess that tells you something. I prefer photographs. And this one I love. I don't know why. I mean, I think I love it because the album is one of the most seminal albums of my life, but it's just a very simple album cover, but it's one that everybody knows. What's the Story, Morning Glory?
Oh yeah,
But
that's a cool picture.
here's the interesting things about it that people don't know. So the two guys on the cover, it was supposed to be Liam and Noel Gallagher, but they were too drunk and they missed the photo shoot. So the guy that is walking with his back to the camera is the guy that owns Microdot, who was the graphic design company that did all of Oasis
Oh really?
album covers. And he has a really good YouTube channel where he talks about how he made all the album covers. And then the guy walking towards the camera, I can't remember his name, but he is a local radio DJ. And the other Easter egg that's on here is there is a guy standing back here. You can barely see him, but there's a guy there, and he's holding a box above his head. It's the master tape of the album that's in that box.
Oh really?
Yeah. So
that's cool.
Anyway, I don't know why I love this, but probably just because the album holds such a important place in the soundtrack of my life. I guess I now have an affinity for the cover for that reason.
It's kind of like that Allman Brothers Alive at the Fillmore album cover when they're all standing at the front and Dwayne Allman's got his hands cupped in front of him and they're all laughing. He just been off there saying, Dwayne, get in the picture, because he was just over at the side copping some drugs from his drug dealer. And he walked up and he had them cupped in his hand.
Oh, shit, that's funny.
Yeah. Okay, now we're getting into my top covers of all time.
Yeah, me too. I have that album.
Oh, classic cover, man.
Great cover.
Now, everybody always thinks that's Ian Anderson, but I think Ian always says it wasn't, but it kind of looks similar.
I have no idea. I've never given it much thought.
But that's like one of the greatest covers of all time. I bought the album actually when it came out because of the cover, having not heard a note of it.
Right. I think the copy I have was just from my dad's collection, probably.
Oh, this Steven Wilson remix is freaking.
Yeah.
Sounds so amazing.
It's not an album I listen to a lot. I mean, from time to time.
Oh, yeah. Top 5-6 album of all time for me.
Really?
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, my top 10.
Well, this one's in my top 10 and not just in album covers. Again, I go back to I love photography, especially black and white photography, even though I know absolutely nothing about photography. And as Matt has established earlier, I don't know shit about lighting either. But the self-titled album from Grace Potter and the Nocturnals, I love the aesthetic of the album. I mean, this album was released in 2011, but it looks like a band out of the 70s. It's a bunch of guys with big long hair and beards, and Grace was an absolute bombshell back then. And you kind of look at this and go, that kind of sounds like 70s rock. Well, that's a lot of what this album sounds like. One of my favorite bands. Too bad they're not around anymore because Grace is an idiot. But one of my favorite albums and one of my favorite album covers. Just a great black and white photo.
Is she still performing at all, or?
Yeah, she is. So I don't like to say negative things, but I've met her and she was an absolute sweetheart, by the way. But my theory, for what it's worth, the band was called Grace Potter and the Nocturnals, and I think it kind of went to her head that she was set, it was Grace Potter and the Nocturnals. Instead of that being the name of the band, it was her plus the band. And I think that kind of went to her head. And she broke up the band. And she recorded what was supposed to be a Nocturnals album. It was released. It was called Midnight. And it ended up being her first solo album. And what happened was that she was married to the drummer, Matt Burr. They founded the Nocturnals back in like 2006, and they were married. And she fell in love with the guy that produced what became her first solo album. And she decided, I'm the talent. I'm going solo. Screw you guys. And left the band kind of going, what the hell?
She thought she was Rod Stewart.
Yeah, basically. So she went out on her own and she divorced her husband and married the producer. And the band just they all went their own way. And GPN was one of those where the sum was greater than the individual parts. They were lightning in a bottle, and on their own, while she's still talented and she can still sing and she still writes songs, and nothing was as good. She's put out 2 solo albums. She's got a new one coming out next month. Nothing is as good as what she did with the Nocturnals, and it's just such a shame because they were a hell of a
it's too
band.
bad. Egos.
Yep.
U2 War. Do you like that?
Great album. Great album. I have 2 copies of it.
Eric Burdon, Sun Secrets and Stop. Great mid-70s heavy albums. Yeah.
Yep.
Eric Burdon, he didn't do too much. Even after the Animals, he still put up good stuff. Live Dead is a great cover. I almost pulled that one there, Joel. Hendrix hated the original Electric Ladyland cover. Whose idea was that? I don't know who put that out with all the naked breasts on it. I'm not sure. I actually like the other cover better, the one they replaced it with.
I like naked breasts.
Yeah, well, but I like the other cover was more artsy, I think.
I agreed. Yes.
I had honey sesame chicken wings today.
Ooh.
So the place we go to, like the pub that they have wing night on Tuesday nights, they have really good wings. That our nephew went with us a couple of weeks ago, and he had oh frick, it was some kind of like a whiskey barbecue thing on. Oh, they were really good.
It's hard to get good wings around here. There's not any great pubs that have wings around here. There's one of the chicken wing chains, Wild Wing, is just down the street from my house. So that's kind of my default. They're not bad.
They're not bad. They're not. Yeah, they're just kind of normal.
They're average.
St. Louis barbecue, like they got crappy wings.
Yeah,
they're all small and freaking.
Yep. Yeah. When I was in university, when I went to the University of Guelph, there was a British pub, and it's still there, called the Shakespeare Arms, just like a block away from campus. It had the best wings.
Oh, yeah.
And they had live music every Saturday night. So me and my roommate and my buddies would always go there, watch the band, eat a lot of chicken wings. I haven't been there in 20 years. I assume they're still probably pretty good, but it's hard to find good wings.
Yeah, we're fortunate. We got a good place.
I do occasionally. So the chicken wing was invented at the Anchor Bar in Buffalo.
Yeah. Which I'm not a big fan of their wings either.
I love their wings.
Really? They're too small.
I've never found them to be small.
Yeah.
So the Anchor Bar has a few franchises in.
They opened up one in Toronto on Avenue.
There's one in Toronto. There's one in Hamilton. I go to the one in Burlington all the time. I like their wings. I think
there's one by the airport too, up on.
Could be.
Dixon Road.
There used to be this. There's this great place downtown Toronto has a location. There used to be one in Mississauga near my work, but they just closed it, called Knockout Chicken. And they have about the best chicken wings I've ever had, but they closed the Mississauga location.
Oh.
And I don't ever go downtown because downtown is a pain in the ass.
Well, when we meet up in the city, maybe that should be our meeting spot.
Well, maybe should be.
Then go record shopping after we have a big feed of wings.
There you go. We'd have to do the record first and then have a big feed of wings.
I think you need to eat and then wear it off, no?
When I eat because I'm going to eat a lot of wings, then I'm going to want to sleep after that.
How many wings can you eat?
Oh, several pounds.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
I'm good at somewhere around, well, depending if they're, well, even if they're better, I'd say anywhere between 15 to 20.
I'll do, I could, 30 would be about right.
Wow.
I mean, that's if I wanted to do it up, but sometimes it'll be like, my son will go to bed at 8 o'clock and be like, I want some wings. I'll order just like 2 pounds of wings from down the street. And
really?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're making me hungry. Jim always mentions Boston Pizza when we saw him. So this would be late 70s, early 80s. Yeah. Early 80s was when Boston Pizza kind of, I think, first started out west.
I think so. Yeah. They didn't come here till mid 90s, I think, in Ontario.
13th floor elevators first. Yeah. I agree. There's a big fire in Canada. Yeah, run for your lives. It's not in Canada, it's in Quebec.
Jesus, it's like there's never been a forest fire before. California burns to the ground every year, and it's no big deal. But God forbid Canada has a fire. Guess what? We have 45 billion more trees than you do.
You guys are smuggling your guns up here and causing us trouble. We're just sending you down some smoke.
Yeah.
Come on. We'll keep your guns and we'll keep our smoke.
This is equivalent to Dutch ovening your wife when you're in bed. You just fart and hold the cover down.
I've heard the UK band Ride from the 90s. No,
No, but I'm
never.
intrigued. You
We're
had
not
me
going
at
to show David
90s.
Lee Roth eat 'em and smile. No, I hope we're not going to show David Lee Roth do anything.
No, I hope not.
Another wanker.
Yes.
Almost any great artwork album cover would be much better if the dimensions were 2 inches larger. Yeah, wouldn't that be cool? Like, yeah, they should make any album that comes out. There should be like a large version of it you can buy, like for frame, suitable for framing. You know, like
I think the format. I think the size is perfect.
yeah, no, but I
I
mean,
got a
just
whole bunch of. I got a whole
really
bunch of albums.
have one for artwork. It'd be
I got a
cool.
whole bunch of albums framed here. They're all autographed. They look fantastic.
I've never seen that album cover. Herbie Hancock's great though. So I did see Toronto live a few times. That was
I was in Toronto
80s
today.
80s band. Nuggets and Axis Bold as Love would be my favorite. I almost pulled Axis Bold as Love, and the Nuggets ones are great.
Yeah, they are.
Washed Out Within and Without. I don't know that. Boss Beats was another Edmonton creation. Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Yep.
First one I ever went to was in Lethbridge, Alberta.
The first one I went to was Niagara Falls.
I like Naked Breasts. LOL, great line. LOL.
Well, who doesn't like naked breasts? I mean, clothed breasts are good, but naked ones are better.
This conversation's taking a left turn. Pretty soon we're going to be showing nipples. Black Sabbath first album has a cool cover. Yes, it does. Fat Burger has amazing wings. I don't know that place.
I don't know Fat Burger, but sounds like a good place to eat.
It does. Sadly, the best wings are usually at pizza places.
No,
like pizza.
No, not here. Not where I
mean,
am.
I can eat pizza place wings, but they're not like I would.
I do just kind of like. I do because they go well with pizza, but they're never good.
No, they're not. Like you wouldn't put them on a list of great wings.
You got to go to a pub.
Yeah.
Usually a British pub.
Price. What a joke. Remember when they were sent? Yeah. You used to get like 5 cents a wing or something. And now it's like 89 cents is the deal now.
Yeah.
A wing.
There are some Hooters.
I've never been to a Hooters. So.
I have. The food is horrible. The wings are disgusting. The Hooters themselves are, going along with what we talked about earlier,
30 wings or 30 pounds of wings. I guess he was questioning you. I think
30 wings.
30 wings. Yeah, 30 pounds of wings.
30 pounds.
Usually about 8 wings to a pound, right?
Yeah, something like that. Depends. If you get the small ones or the big ones, it's hard.
Yeah.
Do
you like them breaded or?
Either way, it doesn't matter.
Either way, yeah, I'm the same way. Magical Mystery to me sounds like Sgt. Pepper's without all the pressure of being that album. LOL. I'm a Sgt. Pepper's freak, so but I like Magical Mystery Tour too.
I do as well.
I don't think there's, those French Canadian trees. Yeah, French Canadian. They're always whenever there's trouble in Canada, it's always the French.
Tabernacle.
Right, and they make us take French in school. It's like
I know
there's no one to be found, and I never learned to remember a word of it.
I took French for 12 years, and while I still speak some of it, not very well.
Yeah, no, I
could read a French newspaper without too much trouble.
But I remember going to Montreal in like the 70s at the height of like like when they were kidnapping.
Yeah, FLQ.
FLQ and all that stuff. And I remember walking along the street in Montreal, my buddy and I, and we were looking for directions and something. And everybody we would stop or ask, they would always go, dude, like, we don't speak English. Right?
Really? Because that's changed now.
I mean, they were just being rude because they knew we were from Toronto or out of town. They just didn't want to talk to us. I'm sure they could have communicated. That's what the impression we got. So after a while, like when people don't know you're from out of town, you're just walking along, and a person from Toronto would stop me and go, "Do you know where this is?" And they don't know I'm from Montreal. And I would go, I do the same thing.
Yeah. The secret is you just wear a Habs hat, and then you're all right. Montreal's a pretty English.
Abraxas cover was one I almost pulled too.
I almost pulled it too.
Well, I heard the government took away my Social Security because my mom died. I'm going to end up on the street. I'm in panic now.
Uh-oh.
Oh, well, your Social Security. Well, can't you apply for your own Social Security? You can't take your mom's. I'm just saying. I think Big Jim started BP initially on Vancouver Island or something as a prototype for it. Oh,
No,
I thought
no,
it was Edmonton.
no. It was in Edmonton. It was a struggling family pizza place that he bought and made it successful, and then opened up franchises. But I think Edmonton was the first one.
I agree. I like MTM. There's no way. We can't argue that.
Well, and it's not apples to apples because Magical Mystery Tour is not technically an album.
Yeah, it's an EP.
It's an EP with some extra songs.
And you can't tell me that those songs there's some great songs on there. I Am the Walrus and whatever, but it ain't Sgt. Pepper. Sorry.
This guitar is made from trees in Quebec.
Yeah,
on
Quebec.
both sides. This here is spalted maple. So it's maple that's had a fungal rot in the tree. So there's these black veins running through it. So it's flame maple with a fungal rot.
Wow.
This is from a builder in Quebec. I got it raw and then I lacquered it, stained it and lacquered it, and I built the guitar. But it's got my name on the headstock there. But
very cool.
Yeah. But yeah, this is made from trees in Quebec.
One of the great luthiers on the planet is from Quebec.
Who's that?
John Larrivee.
Oh yeah. Larrivee, yeah.
There was a major fire about 20 years ago in Quebec that affected the northern U.S. Pardon my French, but yeah.
Listen, folks.
I'm telling you, they're trouble, man.
It's just a forest fire. It's no different than what you have in California. Get over it.
Green, yeah, it just hits better for me somehow. Oh, Magical Mystery Tour. They're still going on. Okay, another album cover. I only got 3 more.
I got 3 more as well. Uh-oh.
Moody Blues.
Oh, yeah.
In Search of the Lost Chord.
Yeah. Did they find it?
Yes, they did.
Okay, good. What was it, a G minor?
One of the great psychedelic albums of all time.
Yeah.
Love this album. What a great cover.
That's a good cover.
Yeah.
I'm gonna carry on my trend of black and white photographs. I didn't realize how many black and white photographs I pulled till I started showing them to you folks. This cover I just love for its simplicity. Blue Rodeo's The Days in Between. This is a photograph. I don't remember what it's called. It's a road in Pennsylvania. It's called Country Road, Lancaster, Pennsylvania, 1961, by a famous photographer named George Tice. And then Blue Rodeo just bought the rights to the photograph. So it's a Volkswagen Bug driving down a country road. What that has to do with the album, no idea. But my favorite Blue Rodeo record and my favorite of their album covers.
Cool.
And don't look for this on vinyl because you'll never find it.
Okay, number 2. Everybody keeps slamming it here tonight. The Magical Mystery Tour is better, but the cover sure ain't better.
I'm not sure if I know that album. I've been told I'm not a Beatles fan.
Oh, inventive one. I mean, that was mind-blowing when it came out. Nothing was ever like this.
The Beatles had almost every one of their album covers was a work of art in its own right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even something as simple as Beatles for Sale or Rubber Soul.
Yeah,
they were still brilliant photographs.
Yeah, good photographers taking those pictures, and they were arty, and no, they paid attention to this stuff. But I mean, you might look at this in time now. It's 2023. It's not 1967, but come on, man, that's iconic. There's no.
Yep. So I have something similar. I don't know if you're familiar with this album.
Oh yeah, I almost pulled that one too, but I only wanted to pull one Beatle one, so I pulled Pepper.
How iconic is this? I've crossed this crosswalk. I have a picture of me crossing it.
I have crossed that crosswalk too.
I think most fans have. It's just, what do I need to say? Everyone knows what this is, and it's outstanding.
Yeah, it is. My number 1, it's always if anybody knows me, they know what I'm going to show. Something I wish I had a mural on my wall or on my ceiling.
Oh, yes.
In the Court of the Crimson King. That is the
Yep.
greatest cover ever. Don't fall in. Come on. Oh, man. Just so inventive and so cool. I mean, it's just
Yep.
1969. I mean, that'd scare the crap out of you.
Sure.
That's amazing. If I could find an artist who'd draw that on my wall, I would.
So my number one, I think people might be familiar with.
Ah,
I couldn't help but pull two Beatles records. I mean, this is my favorite album of all time.
me
I
too.
love it. The first time I owned it was on CD because I've told the story about how I got into music in the early 90s, and I had this on CD before I had it on vinyl. And the booklet that came with the CD actually mapped out who all the people were. So I like to, I used to
Oh,
like to
yeah,
go
yeah, that's
through,
right. You did. Yeah.
figure out, Shirley Temple's on here and,
Yeah.
Edgar Allan Poe and Winston Churchill and Marilyn Monroe. And I just thought it was a cool, visually, it's amazing. There's so
Yeah.
much going on, so much to look at. It was way ahead of its time in terms of album artwork.
Yeah. It is incredible.
Yep.
But, yeah. Yeah. If it wasn't for that King Crimson cover, it would be my number one. I don't understand the love for chicken wings when there's so much more meat on chicken legs. I don't know. It's just it's different.
It's different.
It's the same but different.
It's about the experience.
That's a beauty of a telly, man. Yeah, it does look pretty cool.
Yeah, as you can see, I like them. I have there's actually 6 wait a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 6 Telecasters here and I'm building another one.
Wow, that's very cool. Blossom Beach was born and raised in Edmonton in the early 70s. Trev was not even a part of it then. There we go.
Yep.
How about Outside Inside from Blue Cheer? Yes, Blue Cheer.
Go back on the pizza thing for a second. Speaking of local pizza chains that I absolutely missed, do you remember Mother's Pizza?
Yeah.
Remember Ernie Witt that was the catcher from the Blue Jays? He was one of the owners.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Yeah, Mother's Pizza.
They tried to resurrect it about 5 years ago and it failed miserably, but that was the best pizza place.
Really? That was a good pizza place. I remember that.
It was Mother's Pizza and Spaghetti House, I think. And their pasta was amazing too.
Yeah, that's crazy. I forgot about that place.
That place was awesome.
That goes back a long ways.
Yeah, 80s.
Yeah.
I was just a wee lad.
Spinal Tap had 2 great album covers. I don't know their album covers. I don't know if I've ever seen them. Please Please Me. It's a great shot on the balcony. Yes, it is. And then the historic shot after like the red and blue albums.
Agnes McBain was the photographer. That was at the EMI offices.
Yeah. Crimson looks like pure terror. Yeah. I crossed Abbey Road too. Yeah. Herb Alpert Whipped Cream. What a cover. Yeah. That's speaking of Value Village. That's an album you see every time you go there. Can you guys bench press your body weight?
Hell no.
No.
I can barely bench press my 7-year-old.
I can hardly get off the couch.
Exactly. Glenn and I eat too much pizza and chicken wings.
Order some chicken wings.
Yeah, let's get some wings.
There was a Mother Tucker's. Was that same place? No, that was different. Mother Tucker's was another place. Yeah. That's what I was thinking when you first said Mother's. I was thinking of Mother Tucker's.
Oh, Mother's Pizza.
Back in the 70s, and they used to have these. Every time you bought a pop or something, they'd have these fancy glasses, and they'd give them to you. And everybody's kitchen that you went into, all your buddies, they had like their whole kitchen was full of Mother Tucker's glasses.
Yep,
because they were free. You couldn't afford to buy your own glasses. Mother's Pizza was great. I had many times at a station in Ontario.
Yeah.
I don't know what Sam's up to. We're just leaving Sam alone.
Sam's having an existential crisis.
I don't know what the heck he's doing. I have a hard time looking after myself, but I'm sure he's fine.
We miss him.
Godfather's Pizza. That was another one.
Yeah.
Are they still
I want pizza now. God damn it.
We had pizza, I don't know if it was last night or the night before.
If it was still 9 o'clock, I'd order something, but it's 10 o'clock now. So
But we had it Monday night. We seem to order it when hockey nights, like they got a game on tonight. Let's have some pizza.
yeah,
But do you have a go-to franchise place now?
not really. All the places that deliver, because I'm right at the edge of the city, so all the places that deliver. I mean, I'm stuck with Domino's, New
I'm
Orleans.
liking Domino's recently. They've been the best one in. It depends what town you live in too, because all the franchise they make them different. But in Trenton, Ontario, Domino's out of the pizzas and all those, it's the best one. They give you the most toppings, and it seems to taste the freshest.
There's this one independent pizza place in the city that I live in called Victoria's Pizza, and they have 2 locations. And when we used to live on the east side of the city, it was right around the corner, and they made the absolute best pizza. But they're too far away; they don't deliver to this end of the city, so I'm stuck with one of the chains. So Domino's is kind of the go-to because they got the app, so I can order it on the app,
Yeah.
and I can see when it's going to get here, and it's always the same, and it's reliable.
I always pick them up. I don't deliver. I always
I'm lazy.
order them and I go pick them up.
I'm lazy.
I'm too cheap. I can't pay the tip and the delivery charge.
Well, and you can also drive across Trenton in about a minute and a half.
That's right. It takes me 10 minutes. I'm home and back with the pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we've got some mom and pop places there. One especially that's really good here, and one that's really good in Belleville. So
Yeah.
and there's one in Port Hope that's absolutely Jim's Pizza in Port Hope.
Oh yeah.
If you go to Coburg, just Port Hope's 5 minutes up the road.
5 minutes up the
But
road.
it doesn't
Yeah.
open until 4 o'clock in the afternoon though. But it's the freaking awesome pizza. There's great pizza here.
Taco pizza. That's
Taco
weird.
pizza. Well, when I first fell in love with Boston pizza back in the early 80s when I lived in Alberta, they used to have what they called a sombrero pizza, which was all ground beef and all that. It's kind of like a taco. Oh, it was so good.
I haven't been to Boston Pizza in forever. They used to have this great penne pasta dish. It was called Mamma Mia penne. It was penne with meatballs and sausage, and just the best. And then they took it off the menu. I'm like,
that's not good. Have you seen Holy Napoli frozen pizzas over there?
Nope, never seen them.
You know who makes not a bad frozen pizza now? They're cheap, and they're not too bad for just a frozen pizza. Is President's Choice?
Really?
Yeah,
it's hard to get a good frozen pizza.
They're only like $3. You can get a flatbread one. The flatbreads are fantastic.
Really?
And the pizzas, there's not a lot on, but they're thin crust and they
okay.
taste okay. And you can get like a Hawaiian, or you can get the pepperoni or
we always try to have a frozen pizza or two in the freezer because I have a 7-year-old and sometimes he's like, I don't want that. I don't want. Well,
check out the President's Choice ones.
All right.
Yeah, and they're not expensive. Usually on sale for like 2 for $6 or something.
Oh, that's all right. I'll give it a shot.
Glenn, what's your favorite Zappa album cover?
Christian, we're talking about pizza.
I just showed Grandma Zoo, so I think that might be my favorite one. I love Freak Out. Absolutely Free is another cover I like. Burnt Weenie Sandwich is a great cover. They'd be my top ones, I think. I used to love pizza, only fancy one about twice a year now. Think of my health more than anything else, I guess. Well, Roy, I was saying earlier, my wife orders pizza without cheese. It's just pasta sauce and put some vegetables on it and the crust. How healthy can you can't get much more healthy than that. There's a Jim's Pizza in every frickin' town on the planet. There's one here too. Mike's makes the best frozen pizza. Look for it. I will.
Probably don't get it up here.
And I have $13.99 to spend on it, thanks to Josh.
There you go.
Mike's makes the best frozen pizza. I will look for Mike's. The Western Family frozen pizzas are good and cheap too.
Never heard of them.
Fat Boys had a collection that came out in a pizza box. Oh,
that's not surprising.
Wow. Man, it's 10 o'clock already.
It is. That flew by quick.
It did fly by quick.
We managed it ourselves. How about that?
So what do you got coming up? You got
the video that
unveiling of your grail.
The unveiling of my grail. And well, the next video, hopefully I'll have it edited maybe tomorrow. So it might be up the next day, is the follow up I did with Mike from NGK Boston about our Whitehorse concert, and then I will unveil the Grail that I just got, and then I'm going to do a video about the alternate Fleetwood Mac collection.
Oh, cool.
So I remember I bought it on
I still
CD.
want to get that set.
So I bought it on CD because I had most of the records. I was
Yeah.
still missing 2 of them. I finally got them all now. I just got
cool.
Tusk a couple weeks ago. So I'm gonna talk about that. So, and after many delays, my buddy Bob from Wilco and Blue Radio, we're finally gonna sit down and do the next video that
Oh, cool. Same thing.
yeah.
You just gonna show like favorite albums and
Yeah,
stuff. Same
just
kind of chat.
yeah, some more of his favorites, and I'll probably throw
Cool.
in some of mine.
Awesome. That's good.
We've been meaning to do it for a while, and then he works for a living now
Yeah.
that he's not a musician anymore, and so do I. But he also still does a lot of session work. So
Yeah.
we were all set to do it, and then he called me up and he goes, "I got to get this take done in the studio for this album that I, whatever." So we got delayed and delayed and delayed. And I was talking to him on the weekend. He's like, "We got to get together and do that video. I have the record sitting on my coffee
cool.
table at the front door. So we got to do it." So
That was really enjoyable chat you had with him last time. So that's
good. He's such a great guy. And I wish that he's a great storyteller, and he has some amazing stories of his life in the music business, but he doesn't want to share them publicly. He should. I mean, I know a lot of his stories.
You don't want to tell stories that is
Well, and that's the thing. He's like, "Listen, I would love to, but my stories involve, like, he has an incredible story about the first time he met Johnny Cash.
Yeah.
It's an incredible story, but he goes, I don't feel right sharing that because yes, it's my life, but it's got people in it that everybody knows, right?
Yeah.
So, or like, he could tell, I've heard hundreds of stories of
The
when
names have been changed to protect the innocent.
it's right. He goes, I just don't feel, I don't like, he goes, the stars are great between you and me. We're having a beer or a coffee or lunch or whatever, 2 friends shooting the shit. He goes, but which is, and I totally respect that. I'm glad that he shared them with me. So yeah, we're going to talk about some more records. So.
Yeah, that's cool. I'll look forward to that. That'll be good. Yeah. I am going to do a video tomorrow. I always rack my brain. I'm going to do a video tomorrow on people that made solo albums outside the band and trying to make a case that some of the solo albums are as good as the iconic band albums. Like,
I did a video about that like about a year ago.
A McCartney album that could be in the top 10 if you included all the McCartneys and all the Beatles?
Right.
I could argue there could be.
Yeah, I did something similar to that, and
stuff like that. So
nobody watched my version of that video. But
so I'm doing Joe Strummer from The Clash.
Okay.
I'm going to do Sting with Police. I'm going to do McCartney, John, and George, and I forget who else. I picked up like 10 people that made solo albums. I'm going to try and say, okay, well, this is at least as good as their top 10 albums or top.
Right.
But we'll see.
Well, that's an interesting thing because quite often people that leave a band, is the album successful because it's good, or is the album successful because the fans of the band that they were in bought that record? I mean, McCartney put out a lot of good stuff, but he put out a lot of shit too.
Oh yeah.
But it still sold because.
But I guarantee you, if the Beatles started releasing albums in 1964 and we're still releasing albums in 2023, there would be some crappy albums.
Absolutely.
It would be impossible.
I'm kind of glad that they were as short.
That's the magic of it, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Lightning in a
bottle. On another 5 years, people might not have held them in the same esteem. They might have lost some energy,
They couldn't keep going with the momentum that they were.
No, it was a magical time and it could never be duplicated. And
yep. It was perfect the way that it was.
It was perfect the way it all ended. And really, I mean, you'd always think it'd be cool, but that was just story.
I'm glad there was never a reunion.
Yeah. I mean, Abbey Road, what a way to finish,
Oh, yeah.
Unbelievable. Incredible. Yeah. That's a story you couldn't write a fictional book about the Beatles.
No. Did you ever see the movie Yesterday about the
Yeah, I like that movie. I love
that movie.
Yeah.
Love it.
A lot of people don't like it, but it was just fun.
It was fun.
Yeah, there was nothing harmful about it.
And then, it gets me thinking, can you imagine a world without those songs in it? Oh,
Yeah,
man,
yeah.
that'd be terrible.
Look at this. We got the Rob and Glenn duo are doing okay by themselves. Yeah, we managed without fumbling all over ourselves. Fantastic show tonight, guys. It was high quality entertainment. Thank you. Let Larry know.
You can't use that.
Great
Larry
show
has
as
that
usual.
trademark.
Thank you. Peter Green and Fleetwood Mac. Absolutely.
Yep.
Dennis Wilson made a better album. I've never heard that album, but
I
I heard
haven't either.
a lot of praise for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pete Townsend's another guy.
Yep.
Solo stuff is on par with in a lot of ways. Like those rough mix albums with Ronnie Lane and that are really good records.
Yep.
Beatles left before lip syncing, auto tune, crotch grabbing, rap, and disco. Yeah, they did, and they might have been involved in all that.
Yeah.
I think Paul's probably using a bit of auto tune here and there on that last album.
Maybe. I haven't heard the last album.
Yeah. Oh,
I
really?
don't pay a lot of attention to the solo stuff.
Egypt's really? I love it all. I think
No.
Paul's still putting out good stuff. I just don't think they're like the albums are. If there's 12 tracks, all 12 tracks are genius, but there's always a couple that are really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah. So anyway, Rob, I guess we're going to be back next week.
Absolutely.
Thanks everyone for watching. We really appreciate it. Joel,
Thanks,
thanks for being so generous. I much appreciate that. And
glad to be back after my 2-week not voluntary break.
What's the date today? Oh, it's my
Today?
daughter's birthday today.
Well, you should know it then. It's the 7th.
Happy birthday, June 7th. And so on the 14th next week, yeah.
Yeah.
And then the 15th, my dog goes in for dental surgery.
Oh, that's fun.
That's not fun.
Better the dog than you,
it's
right?
not cheap.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Oh, that's going to hurt. That
Yep.
$13.99 will go a long way to helping me pay for that.
There you go.
All right, cool. Good night, everyone. Thanks,
Night, everyone.
Thanks, buddy.
Thanks for watching.
See you later.
Good night, everybody.
Take care.